Hello, my people. It is your Red from Texas, Nate, and we are live. It is Friday night. Um, got a couple of things wanted to do tonight. Dog might be coming in a little bit later, so we'll see what he says too. But most importantly, we got a nice big box. So you know how we roll. We gotta open the box so we can show you the goodies inside. All right. So how y'all doing out there? What up, Mike Knight? What's up, Gavin? I hope everybody's having a great Friday night out there in YouTube land. This is kind of funny the way this one went because literally it hasn't even shown shipped yet from Hasbro, but it did ship and show through FedEx, uh, which I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, hey, FedEx, what's up, Firehouse? So we got ourselves a big box. See? Okay. Let's see. And all right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Rasper, what is up, brother? Yeah. Haha. It is Victory Saber. This is the HasLab. Been waiting a year for this one. It seems like that's how most of these go now, is that they're all a year. So it's massive. It's like a big. It's a big box, not as big as like maybe smaller than a Titan. So and then there's that side. That's what you kind folks doing tonight. Okay. So first, all right, we gotta put some of this down so we can show you. Okay, it's cool. So the way they did this, decline, is you can actually take it apart, this part, and on the inside, how good you guys can see, that is the Japanese version or the Takara version. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I actually might use that one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You get a big, nice poster. That's the same artwork that was in the front. Thesaurus here. You have the mini cons here. Well, mini cons, whatever you want to call them these days. All right. Got some instructions. And then the actual box itself. So you got, these are of course all the accessories. You got the flights, the stand, the adapter, all the effects, which I wish we had more of these, with more of the line. You get a sword, the two guns for Victory's Leo, and then his actual shield. This comes out. And you guys are seeing this first, like I am. So you got Victory Leo with the two Micromasters, and then Star Saber with the big old gun. So, I mean, this is about the same size height wise as the old MP was. So I'm glad to have it because I'm a huge Victory fan. I love Victory. I love Master Force and Headmasters as well. So definitely excited to get this one in. Been waiting and waiting and waiting, like a lot of people have been. Um, and now we have Deathsaurus, who's actually out on HasLab right now. It ends in a couple of days. So kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that. So let's bring that up real fast. Share. Share screen. We're going to do a tab. Okay. So this is Deathsaurus as of today. Deathsaurus is the same exact price as Star Saber. So $179.99 ends up being close to $200 after tax and shipping. It's already fully funded. You know, this got funded real fast, and we're at 16,065 backers. So, and it ends in 3 days. So, what does that mean? Well, that means we are getting towards the end, folks. So tier one unlocked. This was, of course, the cannon. You gotta have the gun that goes with Super Chicken, and yes, we call him Super Chicken. Then you get the mace for Deathsaurus in robot mode, and see, and you get two more special blast effects. But then here's you go, Super Chicken with the blaster, then Deathsaurus with the mace. Then if we get to 17,000, which I seriously don't doubt we will, I think it's going to happen pretty fast. 17,000, you get the throne, which of course is the flight deck. Um, and I kind of want the throne. I like that one. Um, it's a good flight stand for him and Victory Saber. It is sitting down there as well. So I like it. So what up, Carnage? Um, But that being said, though, is that this is going to be one of those things. This wouldn't make the main line for Hasbro because there's not enough people who know about this line, about Victory and Master Force, because a lot of people might not have grown up with it since it's the Japanese side of the world versus being, the English side. Because in the English side, it all stopped after season 4, the Rebirth. So with that being said, Japan continued on with Headmasters, Master Force, and Victory. And then the last episode was Zone with Diatlas. And Diatlas in Big Powered was only a Takara Legends set way back when. And I've got it. I kept mine because I knew it never would get redone again. But who knows? It might be the next HasLab. We're getting Victory Saber now. But what we're going to need soon is going to be a new God Jinrai. But it's been a long time coming for this set because a lot of people have been asking when are we going to get this one? When are we going to get this one? Because a lot of people don't want the MP anymore because the MP is falling apart because it's so old. So, and ironically, the designer of Masterpiece Star Saber is the same designer on the HasLab Legacy one for Victory Saber, as well as for Deathsaurus. So, kind of makes it work out. It's going to be the same creator, same engineer, so he kind of knows what he's doing. So it makes it a little bit easier, per se. But that was the big thing today. Like I wanted to. I've been waiting to get this thing to play with this one, so to speak. Been waiting for a long time, just to get it. If you guys saw the other day, though, I did get something on sale. Haha. Yes. Yes. We got Beast Megatron. Um, Definitely wanted him back in the collection. So we've got him, and he was half off thanks to the good people at Ross. So don't forget Ross, people, especially during Christmas. They are a great time to get good stuff from. Excuse me, but you got to be there when they open because that's when the reset's been done. If you wait until later in the day, guess what? It's already been ransacked, especially during Christmas time, which is sad too. 'Cause this is the best time to get stuff for us as collectors. Hey, John, how you doing, man? So, what questions you guys got today for me? I'm open. You guys know me. I like talking to y'all folks. Um, and don't feel afraid. You guys talk to me. We do have the big giveaway. We've got going on. That's about another 5 or 6 days left on that one. And what we're giving away is a mystery um, bag of comics with an old school Toys R Us exclusive group. We've got a Macross Blu-ray set with Macross Frontier and Macross Delta. It's what it is. It's the new Delta movie that just came out, but it's also got extra digest and extra promos from Frontier as well. Then we've got of course, the big one is the Chaos Coffin set. Because there's a whole kind of random in that one. Plus, it comes with an Evil Ernie action figure from the old what you may call it, um, more collectibles. Which I'm a huge more collectibles fan. So if you guys have more collectibles around you, they're the ones that usually do like Evil Ernie, the Lady Death stuff. They do Witchblade, they do Vampirella, they do pretty much all the bad girl, ones. Um, so I collect all of those, of course. Um, and then we've also got a Transformers, which is the brand new Velocitron Cybertron Override, which is a Walmart exclusive we've got going with that one. And then the Amazon 2 pack of Skywarp and Sideswipe. And then I threw something else in there, just something extra. Um, so, yeah, you're right, Gavin. Too Burlington's good for figs too, especially if it's like Titans. Like I found Triptychon out of Burlington once, and I about passed out. Same way at Ross, I found a Triptychon there, and both times I bought them because I know people needed them. Um, but it was one of those things. It's like you snooze, you lose. You don't get there, you don't get it. You don't get it. It ain't gonna happen. Um, but what are you guys hunting for right now? Because I'm always hunting for something. I just don't know what it is half the time. Because I don't keep up with as much stuff as I used to. I try to, but with work and kids and everything, it's kind of hard to. And like today, ironically, I didn't know Dorkside Toys was closing, you know, until today, which really sucked because I had all my Mezcos ordered through them. Um, so I had the Alien, the Predator, the Crow, the Silent Hill Pyramid Head, um, and then in Leatherface, because in the Halloween too, Michael Myers. I do all the horror Mezcos. Um, I'm like crap. So trying to find a new place to pre-order real fast, and it makes it fun. So you end up having to like go to different places like Big Bad and you name it, just to try to get orders back in. But I didn't know about Dorkside closing, which you know, funny thing is, Dog and then they're like, y'all, Nate, you living under a rock. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't know what's going on around me. That's just how it is, folks. Um, one cool thing that we got going on too is on. Uh, you guys see, I do giveaways here, but I also do giveaways online through Facebook as well, especially through the groups I'm in. Like the Sworn Nation or top fans of Don McTeague. I'm doing one through the top fans right now for a couple of books for people. And you never know what I'm going to give away. You just never know. That's why I'm called the Syndicate Santa. Been doing this for a long time. Enjoy helping you guys out and enjoy having a good time with you folks, especially during Christmas time because it's not always easy. All right. So, let's see, what else were we going to show today? Oh, yeah. So, we got this guy in Holiday Prime. Now, this is a brand new mold. Um, Somewhat, it's like part of part of it is like the Laser Optimus Prime for Legacy. Some of it feels like the old Titans Return, um, and then some of it's just brand new, which is really nice, to have a new one. But you know what they're going to turn this guy into? G2 Hero Prime, which I can't wait for that one. We got the Laser Optimus Prime. Now we need the Hero Prime. But yeah, this one's fun. It was me and Dog and Plastic Attic were joking around with like how this this guy's tiny. This is a Voyager, but they sell him at a leader price because he comes with extra stuff. Um, how things have changed so much, as far as pricing and whatnot. And I don't agree with it. I really don't. That's what kind of kills it for a lot of us collectors is that it's getting so expensive that we can't keep up now with a lot of it. So it's fun. We have a good time, but at the same time, you've got to be reasonable and respectable about about what you get. You can't get everything. That's what I learned. I learned that a long time ago. You can't get everything. Yeah, it does. It also does look like Deimos, and I know who that is. 'Cause I'm one of those kind of guys. Um, I'd love to get a Voltes V or a what you call it? What was the other one? I had Voltes, Deimos. What was? I'm forgetting the other one. I'm thinking of it right now too. Combatler V. That's the one I want. I want a Combatler V. Um, but because I love those old 70s and 80s, animes. Uh, yeah, you. What up, dude?
Man, where's those scooter at?
Scoot's trying to get his house set up. He's packing up the old place. He gets to move in on the 29th of December, so he's packing up everything at the old place. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll give you an excuse. I'll give him a pass. Um,
That's funny.
but yeah, I was showing off. I got the HasLab in.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so, so here's the box.
Dang, that's unique.
Yeah, and and I like how they did it because it's a reversible box. So
yeah.
So if you see inside a little bit, they've got the Japanese. It's like the Japanese is on the inside, and then the Hasbro is on the outside.
See,
So
that's really cool.
So I'm probably gonna, me, I'm probably gonna go the Takara route.
Right.
Keep it old school. And then it had a poster, but it's like a cardboard poster.
Yeah. Shoot.
You know.
That's actually surprising.
And then, I mean, for the price of it, they'd better damn sure do something with it.
Yeah.
So.
Dang. That looks really.
Like the blast effects alone was worth the price of admission.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Because we don't
really
get
never get any, so.
And then.
Man.
Yeah. So I mean, they did good, and they even put like stuff on the sides too.
Yeah.
So like this is to me this is a HasLab.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
I agree.
That's what you would do. You would go to the guild, especially for the price, because if you look at it, it's a Supreme class plus a Voyager or a Leader class plus a couple of Micromasters. So you're talking 80, 50, that's 130 already. Then another $10, or let's see what we at, 140 already, and then the blast effects, the extra guns, and all that. So maybe another $20, $30. So you're at about 160 already, 170.
Right.
So I mean, to me the price is justified.
Yeah.
For this one.
See, that's the prime example. And then big beefy right above my head over here, Galactus, prime example. So those are justifiable things.
Not like the Ghost Rider.
Yeah, we talked about that last time, but yeah,
it's sad. Just like
just left the building.
like if they would have started at $200, okay, I think 99% of us probably would have jumped in.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, looked awesome, but nah.
But I was like,
I'll never forget typing it in just for kicks and giggles, and tax and shipping to here in Georgia was $398 and like 34 cents. $400.
Nah. And that's what's sad. It's on the East Coast side. They come from the East. They come from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like they tripping, boy. But, well.
Yeah. Like I'm in the middle of this. I'm in the middle of Texas, so usually anything is gonna, like, I'm half priced. Somewhat.
Right.
It's like halfway to there or whatnot. Like when you send me something that's cheap, or I send back that way, it's cheap. Like, or even to George from where I'm at. But when I was in California trying to mail something to somebody, holy crap, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I mail stuff to George, vice versa. Oh yeah.
We pay for them fees.
Hey, 'tis the season though. Got a little Mythic Legion 4 Horsemen Studios. I mean, it's technically, I just learned this because I don't collect these, but it's not a Mythic Legion, by the way. Got it? No, they started a little side gig or whatever, so they're starting to do like mythical, which I love that idea. Because like I got the Headless Horseman, and I don't collect that stuff, but that Headless Horseman is a must have. Freaking Santa Claus, Jolly Saint Nick. I mean, come on, like this. It's like that's a must for me. But
they're trying to get me into it because the Obscura line's like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, exactly.
It's like they do all the stuff that's not mythic. But for me, the hard, like, how tall is he? 5 inches or 6 inches?
He's 6.
Is he 6?
Yeah. Like, here's a Mezco, the Death Dealer.
Oh, you need to just mail that thing to me now.
Look,
I'm pissed off about that one.
That's 6-inch scale, buddy.
That's a good one.
Oh, dude, this thing, bro. Dude, like I didn't even realize it was a comic book. Which me and you love comics, Yeah. Somehow I don't know how I don't know how I missed Death Dealer, but anyway.
Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. Well, what happened is Mezco canceled my order on Death Dealer.
Oh, okay.
Because I had that. I actually was going to buy the horse and everything for it to go with, to recreate the the iconic scene, but they can't. Right. But it was an exclusive. The Mezco.
Real chain mail, dog. Like actual metal. It's crazy. I'm like, what? Ain't it funny how these companies, even Hasbro, they can do masterpieces like this. I consider it, man. This is like, this ain't your average Mezco, bro. This thing is freaking insane. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. It's just one of them figures you on a shelf, and your eyes gonna immediately go to it. I mean, just But what I was gonna say, the only reason I got it, I didn't order it. Old Big Dub had 2 of them, and then this past Saturday we did a episode of Coffee and Figs, and we did a Christmas trade. And anyways, I got a few things. He had a few things. I got the HasLab Sentinel from him, and this Death Dealer, and some other stuff. But it was within just trading with each other. We didn't exchange money, just straight up figs, bro. That was like to me, that's the best way to do it. Like, there's no money, you ain't got to pay nothing. Figs for figs. I mean, hey, it's a win-win situation. So that's
my favorite way, especially when you're trying to like get rid of stuff that like it no longer fits your collection of what you want to have. So it's like it's time for you to go. And somebody, hey, you got this. How about I give you 3? Like, for my example, like my Joe collection. My Joe collection is getting big. But I've got like, I don't know, 5, 6 troop builders of each one. You
Right.
know, like if I got tired of Joes, I guarantee I can trade all these Joes to somebody fast.
Just like that.
You know,
Just like that. Well, that's the name. Y'all always hear me say this for years. The figure game. That's part of it.
it is.
Knowing that, hey, like them Joes, for instance, you will never have a problem if you ever wanted to trade or sell them or whatever. Like, that's
Nah,
the name of the game. But it's
exactly.
easy.
Well, it's like I was showing the guys this guy. You know,
Yeah.
25 bucks at Ross. You know, that's part of the figure game.
Yeah.
Of you got to go hunting, you got to go looking.
Got to.
You
And
know,
then people will cry when they don't have. Oh, I can't. Well, and they're the ones that they don't never go nowhere. They don't ever look for nothing.
no,
You know, that's what tripped me out. I'm like, man, don't cry to me. Don't call me a scalper or whatever you want to call me. Like, when I'm getting up, you know, whatever time in the morning, going to Walmart or wherever. Shoot.
yeah. I mean, it's just like I showed you guys what I saw today at the hunt. You know, it's like you
Yeah.
got to get out there. I mean, even if it's just go to one store in the day, if you can go to one a day or one every couple of days, you're okay.
You'll
You
be
just keep
blown away
looking.
at what you'll find.
You know,
My buddy down in Florida a couple of days ago, but Florida gets stuff quicker than Georgia, obviously. The
oh
shit.
yeah,
But he found, you know, he had a few of these animated series
ah,
from Walmart. This was
yep,
like 2 days ago. And of course, he hit me up. And there again, that's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, dude, I've got to the point now, and I say this humbly, where the dude on pound, it's like, bro, we got so many connections and with each other. I call them actually me and Plastic Addict, we call them the ground troops. You know, we got them ground troops. Like this guy right here. He just hit me up. I didn't ask for this, but he's like, dude, you want this? I was like, yes, I do.
exactly. You're gonna say no to Spider-Man.
Nah, not Dude. I ain't saying no. Spider-Man and X-Men, like, nah.
Hey Rasper, yeah, I am getting that book. Yeah, I already pre-ordered it. It's a massive like omnibus of Frank Frazetta, and it shows his whole like paintings and stuff he's going through. And that's of course where Death Dealer came from, was Frank Frazetta.
Which now y'all got this figure alone. Usually it's reversed for me. Usually it's me reading comics or graphic novels and then getting the figure. This is reversed.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting this, and I'm like, let me get this guy's artwork.
Well, and the cool thing is, there's not a whole lot of books by Frazetta on Death Dealer, so you can get now. There's multiple series, like they had the one in the '80s, they had one in the 2000s by Image, and there's actually a new series going on, an active series right now that's been done by Opus Comics, and that's the one I'm reading. I'm reading the current series of Death Dealer.
Let me grab one thing just to show everybody watching. Hold on, and plus Nate. So what I did. Now y'all got to understand. I already had this for years. Actually, I got it from Life of Brock. Brock, years ago. This is McFarlane back in the early 2000s. This is his horse that's armored up.
Yep.
Dude, that's the most amazing pair up you ever seen in your life. Like accidental perfection, dude. Like he's got the silver dry brushing on the armor. Freaking perfect. Like it's like and you can take the armor off if you just want a black horse.
Exactly.
So either way, them two together, man. Good Lord, look at that.
I'm envious. I'm a jealous man.
And like I said, that was an accident. I had that horse from Brock a long time ago.
I remember because that was a Lord of the Rings horse. Remember when he was doing all the customs.
That's exactly right.
I remember.
So when I got Death Dealer, I was like, man, this is like a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
It took years to get them together. Hey, here we are. So.
Yeah, see, I had the horse from the Wraith horses.
Yeah.
That's what I had, you know, and I still got it. I'm like, if I can get a Death Dealer, I'm putting them on the Wraith horse.
Bro, I ain't saying go out and spend a dumb amount, but I'm saying if you get this dude at a good deal, bro, get it. Like,
oh yeah, you know me.
Hey, cheap. If I see an extra one floating around, I'll hit you up immediately. Hey. Like if I see somebody selling one.
Yeah, definitely tag me.
Ridiculous.
Hey Thor, welcome back in again, brother.
And I ain't even opened the button. This is just the fit, bro. The accessories.
Uh-huh.
Insane, dude. interchangeable heads. They all the eyes light up. I mean, it's crazy.
It is. Well, it's really crazy what Mexico's doing right now because you've got the Predator that just came out.
Right.
Aliens coming out this week. The Crow comes out next week. So we've got three big ones that we've all been waiting for a long time to come out. So our wallets are going to be crying. Like I was telling the guys this morning, because I had everything on Dork side. All my Mesco was on Dork side, and now that it went away, I had to go redo all my orders. So I've already got put my orders in for the Alien, the Predator, the Silent Hill 2, Pyramid Head. Got the Halloween 2. So I got all those pre-orders back in, and then not even within 2 hours. Here's your invoice. Here you go. Pay for your Alien.
Man, I was just like, I don't know. Like Dork side was a little different because Plastic Addict said he never ordered from them. I have
for years.
I'm talking through like you for years. Never had a problem. Never had an issue.
Mm-mm.
I mean, so now the other one from years ago that got ripped people up, the Mega Coffin, whatever.
Yeah.
I knew. I see now that one. I had a gut feeling. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay away from all that. But Dork side, you could have, man. I would have lost $1 million bet if I would have.
I got a box from Dork side 2 months ago. I got my NECA mummy casket from them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And that's what surprised me. Like I mean, I didn't understand. It must have just happened within the last couple of weeks.
Dude, it did.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking. Well, what happened was, bro, when I'm talking, this is how fast it happened. It was right at Thanksgiving. There was this little letter going around from somebody that used to work there. Man, y'all know how this goes in the toy community. You don't know freaking how you know these people. Well, this one was legit, apparently. Obviously. And the guy was like, hey, I'm not, I'm just telling y'all I used to work there and they're going under. And if you got orders with them, cancel immediately. And he said in that letter that you probably gonna lose money, possibly. That's what he said. Anyway, so then everybody, was like, there ain't no way, blah da da da. Well, buddy, 2 weeks, and here we are.
Yeah, like literally, I looked at the website. I just looked at their page last week, and there was nothing different. Looked at it today. Everything must sell. Everything must go. Final going out of business sale.
Yeah, I was like,
I canceled everything and then moved it all over. I was like,
but apparently, there again, y'all, I don't have no insider source. I ain't trying to pretend like I do. But from what I pretty much saw in the rumblings in the community, 2 guys owned it. I don't know their names. I don't know who they are. Anyway, 2 dudes owned it forever, and one of them sold part of their share, whatever, and the other partner bought it all. But he got super greedy. You see what I'm saying? That basically, and then it just fell apart.
Yeah, she
old saying, bro, greed. I mean, it is what it is.
The hard part is that it affects everybody. Like and ironically, I've been on the same side of that fence, being a seller. Right. When my business went under, but you communicate with your customers.
Absolutely.
Number one thing you do is you communicate. Say, hey, like even today, I'm still paying people back from when my business went under every month, and I still pay them. You know why? Because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
If
you reached out to them, like these guys ain't reaching out to nobody. They should have. Dork side should have put up a thing saying, "Hey, dude, like they might not have had to give the details, but that's fine. But at least say, hey, if you got orders with us, we're gonna refund it or whatever." But anyway.
Well, and the reason why I liked Dork side was you didn't have to put any money up front for a pre-order.
Right.
It was like big bag toy store, but then even BBTS now is putting deposits on a lot of their stuff. It's because
that threw me off too, because I've been ordering from Big Bad forever. The whole time I've been collecting, that was the first legitimate toy store online that I purchased from. Mm-hmm. And now, hey, say what you want about them. Now they may be slow, but I've never had a problem with Big Bad toy store either. Not me personally, I'm saying.
I've only had one problem, and they fix it within a week.
Oh, well, there you go.
I've never really had a bad issue out of them. Now, I've had things come damaged, And it's not their fault because I can tell the damage that happened to the boxes from the post office.
Yeah, right.
You know, like, but usually they're so good about wrapping stuff and bubble wrap and that thick stuff that usually you're okay.
I've had
But
more problems. Now, there again, it's just personal experience. I'm not saying, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for myself. I've had more problems with Mezco customer service
oh
than I had
yeah,
at Big Bad Toy Store. Mezco, the thing that got on my nerves was their doggone policies, man.
oh yeah,
That were, yeah, nobody reads the fine print. Maybe that's my own fault. But like the whole point until like a month ago, if that, you couldn't even use your points. So somebody faithful like myself that was buying dumb amounts of them back in the day. I don't do that anymore. But when I was buying like everything they came out with, I have all these points, and then they decided they would only let me use it on what they wanted me to use it on. Now that ticked me off. I ain't even gonna lie. Oh, Mikey,
what
What's up,
Mikey?
guys?
figures
How's everybody doing?
got the Raiders hat on.
Oh crap, we got
Oh,
a Raiders
yeah.
fan.
Even though we lost to the Rams, it's okay.
It's all right.
What do you
Mikey,
guys?
I know
You
you.
gotta rep something, man. You gotta rep something.
Hey, I'm a Browns
You
fan,
have
so
to.
that tells you anything.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I don't
Tried
know.
and true. And
Probably
then watch Baker Mayfield freaking have one of the best games of his life away from the Browns yesterday.
Oh yeah, dude. Baker Mayfield killed it, man. I was like, what are you doing? Be bad.
Yeah. They got a good one out of him for free. And that's what I don't understand either. It's like Cleveland screwed up by,
Yeah.
not investing their time into a quarterback again, and then going to the next one with Deshaun Watson. Well, Deshaun just started playing this last week finally.
right. And Deshaun, see, the funny thing, he's actually from the town I was pastoring at, Gainesville, Georgia. That's literally the high school that I would go every Wednesday for like 6 years and pick these kids up. That was like his brother, all of them. His brother was in my student ministry, all this stuff. So when we had football, church football teams, like his Deshaun Watson's brother, baby brother, was on, in our group. It was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. But
That's cool.
And I heard he's like really down to earth too. Like he's actually a good person. It's just I think he definitely went through some bad stages. Like I've seen a lot of these guys. I mean, look at Nick Chubb. The dude couldn't stay off the dope. For a long.
yeah.
It's like, come on, dude.
Which there again, right here in Georgia, that blew our minds too. It's like Nick Chubb when he was here at Georgia, University of Georgia.
Yep.
I mean, man, but things happen, man. Life happens. Some people take it different and go to whatever drug, whatever they want to do. But
I think
Yeah.
a lot of it comes down to is just being in the sports and the limelight. A lot of it catches up to them. I think, like the money and everything else, and then they don't know what to do. Like, I mean, you take a redneck and you put him in the middle of like like millions and millions of dollars. We don't know what to do with that kind of money.
yeah.
It's like I'd be like, crap, I'm paying my bills. Let me get everything paid off, debt paid off. Now, what am I going to do with the rest of this money? I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people can't handle that kind of money and that kind of fame, and it goes the wrong way or it goes the right way.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
It
Getting
is
new
what it
gigs
is.
this week there, Mikey. I saw what video you do?
LA Comic Con.
I did LA Comic Con and then I did Gore the God Butcher.
the guy. That's right.
Yeah, so I got him. The other one that I have a video, it's gonna come on Monday, but it's on Jimmy Woo. And then I took Jimmy Woo and turned him into George Stacy.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
that's why I don't know. I'm more Spider-Man for me, so I was like, opportunities, I'll take advantage of it.
We were talking about that before you jumped on here. Spidey all day long.
Yeah, there's just something about the Spider-Man Marvel Legends that kind of, because I had let go of Marvel Legends and I was like, yeah, I have the one right here. I was just messing with it.
I'm waiting on freaking Walmart to give me mine.
But you're right, though. They spend more money on, because when I sold my collection last August, all my freaking dumb amounts of Marvel Legends, I kind of hit the reset button, and that was the best thing I ever did, because I was able to step back and be like, all right, hold on. Let me get stuff I actually enjoy and actually.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, man. Like, especially when you're doing everything or trying to complete like every team from whatever you could think of. It just does too much.
it sounds cool, like when you're in the community, you're like, woo, somebody's got 2,000 action figures. Yeah, but in reality, that ain't as cool as you think it is.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll see people's shelves or like backgrounds, and I'm like, damn, you have like probably like 20K Marvel Legends right there, and I don't know how you have that kind of space to keep that,
Nah.
Yeah.
You end up not.
Everybody listening out there, it ain't as cool as you think. It might sound like it, but
Yeah.
bro.
It's a lot of work.
Especially like from when I had all the Toy Biz and all the Hasbro. And when you collected all of that stuff, like you ain't got no room for nothing else.
I have noticed this. That's the video I was talking about Mikey just did with the God Butcher. It's funny how you begin to realize how things have evolved. Like I've already got used to so much pinless technology that when I saw your video on that God Butcher, I was like, bro, that thing is ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, I was like, I never paid no attention to the pins. But now I do. Now it's the first thing I see. I'm like, why is this?
Yeah, because every other company's doing it too. Like if you even notice that WWE Elites are starting to do like the pinless arms, double jointed arms, and it's like those companies are adapting it, and that's what they're continuing on doing. But like Hasbro's still like backtracking a little bit. It's like some stuff is pinless, and some stuff is like we're doing the same old stuff. So it's a little weird, with how they're doing it.
Well, same way with the females. Like some of the females, they'll give them pinless, but only single jointed, or it's like, come on. And then you get one that's a double joint. Like I got the Mystique that just came out from
that was straight deceptive, anyways. Because
it was
double jointed
with the head sculpt.
Well, they just did that announcement on that live stream where they announced literally, I think one of the X-Men female figures was double jointed pinless, and then the other, I think it was Jubilee or one of the other X-Men figures within like the same 3-pack team was single jointed. So it was like, hold up, you just announced one double jointed pinless and then announced another one with single joints. I don't get it.
What? Yeah, it's like in the same box.
Yeah, like almost the same, but like almost identical to the same costume, same everything, and you're just gonna change up the figure a little bit with the old stuff. So it's weird.
Wow, like wow.
Yeah, they did it with the Storm and Jubilee.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny because like during the stream they were like, and this one's gonna have single jointed elbows, and everybody's like, what? What? You just announced, you just like hyped up this double jointed pinless elbow female figure. They're like, what everybody's been asking for, double jointed pinless female figures, but this one is single jointed, and you're like, whoa, dude.
Like
now we're backtracking
because they get lazy. They just want to repaint. That's all it is. Like Jubilee is the same figure that's been put out 3 or 4 times, and it's the same one, just repainted.
Yeah, I feel like it's funny too because like I mean a lot of stuff is reuse molds. Like even like if you look at GI Joes or Power Rangers, they're like all the same bodies with some minor like touch ups. But I feel like when you're reusing the molds, you could at least give us other stuff like more accessories or soft goods and stuff like that. Like I feel like you're saving money on the remold, but if you gave people a little bit more extra head sculpt or something, then it kind of makes up for it. But I feel like they don't do it.
I 100% agree. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I don't.
They did turn off the chat. Yeah, now that you mention it, I remember I was like, everybody's in the chat, and then all of a sudden the chat was gone.
Yep.
And I was like, yo, what the heck?
Hasbro does that every time. Even on the Transformers live streams, they do. Like we'll ask them, like, well, what about this, this, and this, and then I guess you ask too many questions to Hasbro, they don't want to hear it no more.
They start getting the feet to the flames.
Exactly.
Well, a lot of times when you hear those the guys that talk about the figures, like Dwight, I think it's Dwight, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Ryan, I think one of them, or Ryan and Dan. I think I don't want to butcher their names or whatever. But whenever they're talking about it, it feels like they're just like they have passion for some of the figures and they collect it. But then when you're listening to them, when they do interviews and stuff, they're making it seem like they're just kind of the messenger and they don't have like the ability to make decisions. And you're kind of like, all right, so did you make this figure happen, or did somebody in the background do it? So it gets confusing, man. And a lot of times when I want to one day go to one of those Comic-Con panels and just be like, yo, so what's up with this and this and that? And then I know a lot of times they're like, well, it's a division of people, so
Right.
we're
That's
just
the
the
kind
face, but it's
we
like
want to hear.
if you're the face
Not
of
the
it,
same, oh, and we can name the
Yeah.
names, but
yeah,
same dudes asking the same. Oh yeah, man, I did this and that. Not really. You
yeah.
did that crap.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who's like, because of how much I bugged or how much I asked,
There
this
Yeah.
came into fruition. But you're like, all right, but the guys that are actually there, like the Dwight and all them, are saying like, we're just messengers, and there's a team of people who are involved in this. I'm sure they're like everybody wasn't like, oh, this guy is just constantly bugging us about it. We got to make this happen for this guy. I feel like they make things happen when like a movie or a comic book or something
Yeah.
cool makes it worth the money, because that's why we got Gore the God Butcher comic version, is because of the movie coming out, or we probably would have never got him in figure form. Like, that's the thing.
oh
Well,
yeah,
it's,
So
well,
you
it's like
just
with Dwight, for example. I mean, he worked for Toy
it's
Biz
money.
before he
yeah, it's
even.
money.
Yeah.
That's what it
And
is.
it's funny too, because they'll say like our demographic is adult collectors for such and such, but then they'll make stuff that is not accurate, I guess you would say, to some of the comics. Like, there's some things that they'll make that they'll kind of shy away from with accuracy. But it's like, if you were making it for adult collectors, you'd be a little bit more accurate with it, because you're obviously gonna get some feedback. But I feel like they're meant for kids, still.
Yeah,
I feel
Hmm.
like you can't really
Yeah.
be like, oh, it's an adult demographic, but like the majority of your sales are probably from adults, but half of the other majority is like grandmas or grandpas buying a gift for the kid. It's not just
Yeah.
us, so it's
Well,
kind of weird.
if you
nah.
notice, like even the Titan heroes don't sell anymore. The only thing
Exactly.
that really sell is Legends.
Hmm.
From the Marvel side.
Yeah, because when kids get older, they do want that cool action figure that they see. There's kids that I see all the time looking in the toy aisle for the Marvel Legends. So I'm like, it's not just us who do it; it's a bunch of kids too.
Yeah, don't get it twisted, man. That's adults. We all
Yeah.
we the whatever. Nah, bro. Why you think there ain't nobody you can name right now in the Marvel Legends toy community that they ain't even got a million. They can't even get a million subscribers.
Yeah.
This ain't throwing shade, by the way. It's just facts.
Yeah.
Can't even get a million. Been doing it for freaking 20 years. But there's 5-year-olds out there where YouTube got 100 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Like, what's really?
Yeah.
Nah, them little blind bags. That's what. That's what.
Yeah. At the same time too, it's also some of these guys' content. Like, a lot of their content is not really meant for kids. Like, when you watch a lot of the stuff that they do, you notice that a lot of like parents who watch, like toy collector parents that watch with their
Mhm.
kids, they'll sometimes be like, hey, my kid watches this, I don't appreciate that or this or that. And then some guys are like, yo, this channel's not for kids, get your
right,
kid
right,
out of here. And they're like, all right, man, technically these toys are kind of for kids, so you
well,
kind of have to keep it a little bit respectful,
right. Well, like
in some
my
form.
11-year-old, right? Literally, y'all probably hear Fortnite, like right here. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. They even got old. I can't remember your age, but anyway, nah. But like, and I'm just not gonna have certain people right now with them behind me. It just ain't gonna happen.
No, understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
you just answered
exactly.
that question. I mean, so
Yeah, so I mean, that's how it works. I think when like when you look at people from that aspect of like Logan Paul, they have a lot of like teenagers and some kids who like him a lot, and then when they make certain decisions, bam, now you're losing those subscriber counts. So I feel like a lot of people in the toy community don't have like the Ryan's reviews kind of numbers, but
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
because they're not targeted towards the kids. So,
right, right.
but I feel like at the end of the day, the toys themselves, like just today, I was at work. One of my coworkers, son calls him and he goes, hey dad, look at this toy, it's Cody Rhodes ultimate edition or whatever. I think it was like AEW, so what is it, ultimate unrivaled? I'm not too sure what they're
Yeah.
calling it.
Yeah, unrivaled.
So he's like showing his dad the video, and he's like, oh yeah, that's a good one. And he asked me, is that a good one? And I was like, that one's cool. It's not his last figure, so maybe his last figure from AEW, but not WWE. So it made me realize, like, oh, kids actually look for the toys that we look for,
Hmm.
and then you kind of realize, sometimes I'm taking away from kids, and then sometimes I try not to. That's why I try not to go toy hunting so much. Not to try to keep figures for kids because it's impossible, but just because I feel like the Amazon and stuff really takes over, and I don't like going to stores and
last
bugging
year,
employees.
well, COVID during the last 2 years, it's
COVID did change it.
You can get anything.
Yeah. They made everything more accessible. I mean, look at Target. It's like their exclusives. They have like tons of exclusives to the point where some of them are hitting clearance.
Well, if those pythons hit clearance, let me know.
If I ever see one, I'll let you know. But I
Yeah,
mean, like some of those AEW figures.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's this one Target exclusive. When I went to San Diego Comic Con, they announced it. It was the wrestler that has his tongue out and he has like the red box. I saw them saying it was gonna be like super hot, and then now when I still go to Target, it's still there. It's on clearance for like
Dude, I seen
15,
like
$14. Yeah, and it's crazy because they
the
hyped it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
red label. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they even have a commercial of the guy being like, "Get my Target exclusive AEW toy," and I'm like, "Dude,
what happened there? They got that license with that one,
yeah."
and tried to make
That's what I'm saying. They oversold you, my guy. Like unfortunately, your figure's not as special as you thought it was.
Bro, you ain't Dwayne Johnson, my dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you
Well,
cold, bro.
and it's the two companies too. If you look at
Mhm.
Walmart versus Target, Target always buys extras and extras and extras of those figures.
Yeah.
Walmart might get one run and you're done, kind of deal, because like if you notice like the Target red ones, it's always red figures, like Transformers, Hasbro, you name it, even AEW, WWE ones, all the exclusives. They'll have hundreds of those extra figures. Like they'll be on sale um, for cheap. But Walmart, good luck. I mean, you're gonna find it once, and if you don't buy it once, then it's gone. But now I started seeing a little bit difference with Transformers. Like other than like two like Cosmos and the Leader Scourge that came out recently, they've been redoing and re-upping all these figures all the time now at Walmart too. So it's kind of, I think the dynamic of COVID changed it a
Yeah.
little bit because people know that you can't go to the stores easily. So we're gonna have extras there when
I
you
feel like
do
the
go.
online stuff is a lot better. I feel
Yeah,
like I remember, I want to say before COVID when they were doing some Walmart pre-orders. I remember pre-ordering the Alpha 5 2-pack with the Zordon,
yeah,
and everybody's orders were getting canceled like left and
yep,
right. And then now, I mean, the one exception would be that Spider-Man that Dudok showed.
yep,
That one was sold out like right off the bat. I don't
yeah,
even think people were able to see it. But the Lizard was pretty good, pretty well stocked, and there's a couple other figures that are pretty well stocked online. So I feel like the Walmart shopping experience in person is just so horrible. I try
yeah.
not to go to Walmart's period, but sometimes I guess if the right figure comes out, then maybe you'll go and ask an employee once or twice.
Well, speaking of Target red, Target, when y'all gonna get the Jolly O Saint Nick red? Look, that's Target here, baby. Saint Nicholas.
That one's a cool figure. I actually saw
Where
another
you at,
company that was making Santa Claus figures and elves and like a zombie Santa Claus. I don't know what the company was called,
They're on
but
Big Bad. I know that.
think it's different than that company though.
Yeah,
That's what company made that Santa Claus figure?
That one's the Mythic Legion. That's the Four
Mythic
Horsemen.
Legions. There you go.
Four Horsemen is the company.
Oh, Four Horsemen is the company,
And
but
then
it's from
Yeah.
like a Mythic Legions line.
It's the Obscura line. It's the same
Mm.
line that the Horsemen came, the Headless Horseman came.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Right.
because I saw a lot of people getting that one. I was like, hey, they got it to everybody before Christmas.
Oh, bro, they wasn't
Yeah.
joking. They were serious. They was like, whoop whoop. Oh,
And that was gone too. Like I tried to order that Horseman after the fact. It was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There, was my first ever, and I'm not into all that. Like I ain't getting into that line and all that.
Mhm.
The Headless Horseman was a must. It is what it is. It's been around since forever.
yeah, we were kids.
And I was like, dude, I gotta have that. And then when they did Santa Claus, I was like, man, it's Santa Claus. Like,
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's a cool figure.
Well, I wanted to bring up
Does he
that
have an
point.
elf in his pocket?
man, all of this stuff is like real metal chains and stuff, but it's got a nutcracker guy. Or no, a little elf right here.
Sorry to interrupt you, Nate. Dang,
Sorry.
that's so cool. That caught my eye. I'm not gonna lie. The elf caught my eye when you showed it. I was like, "That an elf?"
Like everything.
That's dope.
Cool.
That's cool.
Now, what
Man.
I'm not gonna do it on here because it takes a
Yeah.
while. But when you take his suit off, he's armored up, so he's like
No way. Dang, that's pretty cool.
claws ready to take it out. Boy. Armored gauntlets and all kind of crazy stuff.
All right, I second Nate. I'm a little jealous too.
Yeah, I am too.
That one's cool, man.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring up that point that Art brought up earlier was that some stores still have problems, like COVID and being trashed. You know, for example, if you ever watch T-Man's video, it's like his target's always trashed. You know, it's like it's never cleaned up or nothing like that. Like
Dude,
Mikey, we ran into that all the time in LA. You know,
yeah, and just grabbed everything and threw it off the shelf. I'm like, good.
I mean, it was so bad. Like I remember, like seeing the dirt caked on some of those areas, especially in Alhambra and La Habra. You go to some of those WalMarts down there, like, dude, no, I need to get out of here.
Yeah,
right.
You know, it's like it's bad. You know, it's like, come on now. But you know,
like Baltimore, though. I mean, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta say. Like, whew, some places, bro. Hey, it is what it is, man.
And it's sad because like it's like you think you would have more respect and have pride of ownership, you know, of your place. You know, Fig Life says that Santa will beat your ass. Yeah, he probably would.
Oh, right here. Like I said, he's armored up and jump, but anyway, he's sick.
It's a really nice figure.
Yeah, it looks good. Like I saw the pictures of it. I'm like, ah, crap, here we go.
You know, it's funny because I worked for Target for about like 5 years. So I remember when I worked for Target, if like you were designated a section. So like I remember I used to do like all of toys, and I'd also help out with like electronics. I remember if we used to call them LODs back in the day, but I don't know what they call them now. But if an LOD walked around and saw your area like toys or something messy, they'd call you out and they'd be like, "Yo, you need to clean this up," and you have like a certain time frame, or you're gonna just get like write-ups and stuff. Yeah, and it's funny because they probably just don't care anymore, or it's maybe the stores or something.
Man, it ain't no telling. Mine, you know, it'll be more like people have looked through stuff and set it to the side, kind of messy, but not like T-Man's. Boy, I'm telling you, like,
there's some stores I've been to that, dude, they're so bad. Like, it looks like nobody cares about that store. So I can agree.
All that, whatever. I
mean, some stores have their managers that they're there to make the money. They're not there to keep a good environment. So
yeah, unfortunately.
But you know the good thing about those stores is you'll find little treasures hidden sometimes like that. Like you'll find those legends or those Transformers. You know, it's been like, crap, where you been for like 2 years?
Yeah,
I mean, people were like, you know, doing the under the shelf looks, you know, trying to find.
Yeah. I remember doing that at Toys R Us's a lot because Toys R Us at Toys R Us's, that was like the start of it because people always hid like the newer figures underneath there.
Now, I benefited from that trend because I walked into, there you go, you just took the words out of my mouth, Toys R Us, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, ain't no way. You know, when I was seeing them videos, people doing it or finding stuff. So I walk over there, sure enough, flip it up, freaking 3 of them Phoenix Cyclops 2-packs.
Yeah.
8 of them, no joke, 8 of them Hydra 2-packs with the big Hydra dude, the thick Duke looking whatever.
Toys R Us had the 2-packs, man.
I'm like, what? And then I scan them, $10 a piece. Man, I grabbed the cart. I was like, y'all call
$10 each. Whatever. That's a deal. That's a deal. Because I mean,
God knows how long. I don't know. You know.
No.
I think the only 2-packs I found like under the shelf like that was that Ant-Man and the Stinger. I think it was Stinger.
Well, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Or whatever. A little purple. I know it's.
Yeah. Now I think about it, Toys R Us, they had a lot of good 2-packs, like the Phoenix, the Mary Jane. They had a lot of good ones.
That's how I found the Warpath, you know, the Uncanny X-Force Warpath set. You know, I found that one, and then the Dark Phoenix 2-packs. You know, that Lord, I went through so many of those. I mean, I think Sal and Braulio got 2 sets from me. I think Greg got 1, and then Greg sold it back to me later.
I feel like when you were in Georgia, you had so much opportunity to find, like, I remember you found like all of the Walgreens exclusive. What was it? I think it was not the Daredevils. It had came after the Daredevil.
Anti-Venom.
there you go. The Agent Venom. I remember you found a bunch of the Agent
Oh
Venoms,
yeah,
and
I
then
found like
yeah,
rows of that.
I think I asked you. I think I had got an Agent Venom from you
Yep, I
a
think it was one of
long
the first
time
times we
ago.
had talked.
Yeah,
That was like way back when.
yeah, because it
The only one going to get it because he was here in Georgia. So when I tell people, it blows their mind. The 9 years I've been in here with y'all, the collector community.
yeah,
Sounds weird saying that, almost a decade. But anyway,
crazy.
I just don't pre-order Marvel Legends. But what do I tell George every
Well, you
freaking
don't have to. In Georgia,
exactly.
I
Not
mean,
one time have I ever not found it on the and I'm hey
that's
maybe
crazy though. I mean,
Yeah,
I
don't know.
can't say the same out here. I'm not gonna lie. Like you out here in LA or like the Southern California area, you have so much competition, whether it be other collectors or vendors at like your local like Frankensons, or there's so many people that are scalping on OfferUp and eBay and so many
yeah.
places. It's crazy. It's a lot of competition here.
Now don't get it twisted. Now we don't have that kind of stuff. That's what helps too because
Yeah,
y'all got all that in the equation. We don't. But
yeah.
these jokers out there,
I'm sure you have a lot of people that are trying to go like every morning. Cause out here in the morning at 8 a.m., I think every Target I've ever been to has at least like 6 people
There's
that
always
are
a
just
line.
waiting. I think one time I went to a Target for the carbonized Mando and I think I had went at like 7:30, and there was like 12 people in line just waiting. And I remember people are savage because they do not care. I remember we were in line and they were like, oh, we have like uh 13 or 15 of them, and there was a little kid, I'm talking like maybe 8 years old, with his mom. 8 years old with his mom. He's in line, and one of the older gentlemen behind us goes, that little kid cut. Don't let that little kid get a figure, to the security guard. And I was like, dude, this is the reason why these figures exist.
dude.
How are you gonna try to
Let the
kick
kid
this
have
kid out of line? And
Yeah,
I was in disbelief. I think at that moment,
yeah.
after those carbonized Mandos came out, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do this anymore.
You begin.
You have those moments, man.
it. You do. I mean,
My
Yeah.
you
eyes
look
was
at it.
open in. He's like, "Oh yeah, dude,
I was like, I don't want to be this guy in 15
No,
years, man. I do not want to be this
bro."
man. And
Yeah, my two oldest ones. I got three boys, but my two oldest ones, we was walking through Target. Had two Star Wars. Bro, the dude. You know that feeling you got like when somebody's following you or like right
like
on.
yeah,
observing you or kind of like
yeah.
near you, just
Yeah,
eyeballing you. Yeah, I
buddy,
felt that
I can
before.
see him out my peripheral vision now. And when you go in the daddy mode, Mikey, you might not know this yet, but maybe
Not yet, but I
So
mean,
bro,
I can imagine, dude.
buddy. So I knew the dude was behind me. Like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm being cool. I got my two sons. Now I'm gonna tell everybody on here, y'all can stand on with me in the freaking courtroom if be my witness. But buddy, when it comes to children, your own children, y'all can call me whatever, buddy. I'll pull the Glock back. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll
yeah,
just facts right here, loud.
Hey, I mean, that's how it
Right
is,
here.
man.
Buddy was right behind me, dude, and I could just feel him. So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna make no scene. I got these two Black Series figures in my hand. Got my two sons with me. So we beeline it, take a little cut, a little left, and go to the electronic department. Buddy follows us. I
That's
mean,
crazy, bro.
follows us.
Already, this story is wild.
Finally, I turn around, and y'all know me long enough. Pretty bold person, right? All right, whatever. You might call me other things, but bold is definitely one of them. So I turn around. I'm like, hey, bro. I was like, what's up? And I'm smiling. You know that fake smile where you're
yep.
like, all right, obviously you follow me. Obviously you're a wacko. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say that.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So I'm like, all right, what's up? And this dude goes, complete stranger, never seen this dude, don't know who the freak he was. He's like, man, can I? He looked like a crack kid, man. Just like, and he's our age, right? He's like, hey, man, can I see those, man? Can I see? And I said, hey, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, normally I'd be like, yeah, you can see it. But bro, you done got me all like my adrenaline's pumping.
Yeah,
I don't know what you about to
crazy,
do.
man.
Like, and so it was freaking weird. So that was a grown man that was like following another grown man with his own kids. So when I say these people crazy out here, they don't care about kids.
It's weird, man. Yeah,
Nah.
it's like that. I mean, I've had experiences where like you could feel people following you, but I've like seen them and they've introduced themselves, and then I'm like, okay, you just wanted to kind of have a conversation,
Right.
but sometimes it can be like, all right, you're following me or you're doing this, it's a little weird. And so I can understand where you're coming from that
Especially
one, because that sounds crazy.
and they
Yeah.
still you, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
like, what you doing, man?
Yeah,
You
because
get.
go ahead.
I was like, you got to be safe during that time period. You don't know. I mean, it's
Exactly.
he might have a gun. I mean, you're in Georgia. He might
That's what
have a
I
gun.
was just about to say. That's like those experiences with the people in the Pokemon cards at Target when like somebody pulls out a gun over a pack of Pokemon cards. Like some people just take these things too seriously.
Way too serious.
Oh
Way
yeah,
too seriously. Like
I mean, everybody in this chat right now, and us three right here, some of the most passionate collectors you'll ever meet, and we ain't crazy enough when it comes to life and all that.
it's a
Man,
toy.
well, that's the thing is I mean all of this stuff is materialistic. Like you don't take this with you at the end of the day. Like I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like you're just your embodiment of like just doing good for others, and that should just help you not make those kind of decisions. But for me, I'm just thinking like, man, I don't want to be in that position one day. I'd rather
Right.
just be like if a kid ever goes, oh mom, that he got the toy I wanted, I'd be like, hey kid, like I think one time that has happened to me where like I grabbed a figure, I can't remember what exactly, but I remember hearing a kid's voice like somewhere in the distance, like, ah, mom, that was the one I wanted. And I think I remember like, oh, it's cool, kid. Like this is yours, man. Like
Yeah.
take it. Like I don't.
Yeah.
You want it more than I do. Like you're gonna take more time and appreciation with this little figure more than I will for a longer period of time. Like I'm probably gonna buy this, put it on a shelf, hate it, sell it on OfferUp, and get rid of it. You know.
Yeah.
So
Like that experience you had was the best example of what should have happened. Was everybody over the age of 20 that was in that line that day should have been that little 8-year-old's hero. Is what should have happened.
That
yeah,
kid should have
true.
been in the front of the line.
Yeah, exactly. They should have escorted that kid up there.
100%.
Oh, it's freaking Clark.
Yeah, that's why I was tripping out on that guy when he was talking like that. I was like, dude, I mean, us and me, myself, and a lot of people in the line were like, yo, man, if anything, you should leave right now for even like insisting that this kid is cutting
You got
because,
problems.
yeah, because
You got
taking that so seriously just does nothing but have like bad energy, man. And I feel like you shouldn't have that kind of energy,
Well, it's
especially
like
to a kid, man.
well, it's like remember when the Cobra Vipers first came out at Target.
I
You know,
remember those two.
like it was a pain. Like I got there the first as soon as they opened at
Yeah.
8 in the morning, you know, and they said we got one case of 6, and we're like, oh crap, and we're up there, there's 8 of us. I'm like, well, somebody ain't getting one. So I was first in line.
You
And
know, too, it's when you're in line for Targets and they go, we got 8 and there's like 13 people, you know.
and then what ends up
that kind of
happening.
stuff that's never happened, thankfully. But to me,
Well, you're lucky because I mean nobody. You're not fighting like me and Mikey got to fight everybody just to get something.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, when you're in those experiences. I've had a lot of those experiences where like you're number 5 in line and then the other 12 people in line are just standing there waiting, hoping that you're not buying it, you know, like, and you're like, I'm gonna buy it. I don't know why you're still here, you know. I remember one time this guy in the back of the line was like, yo, I'll give you like $80 if you buy me one of the figures. And I was like, nah, bro, first of all, why would you waste $80 on a $20 toy? And that's not even the $20 toy. You're still doing this. So it's wild, man. Some people don't care.
So he brings up a good point. I agree with it. The one per person, you know, especially if it's a limited item. I mean, like even if it's like you've got 2 cases of it, you know, okay, cases come in 6 or 8. You know, you're only talking about 12 or 16. So one per person, okay, I'm good with that. Or even better, have more stock. You know,
Yeah.
sell it. You know, or like don't piss me off again with the freaking Outback. Don't cancel it. Ask me to every day hit the button that I want it, and then still
Yeah.
cancel it anyway. And then there's like 30 on the shelf.
That figure was ridiculous, dude. Because me and Nate was joking because I had it a while ago, and everybody else was getting canceled. And then all of a sudden, I walk into Target and there's like 6 Outbacks. I'm like, what the what? There again, I don't. Now that wasn't just my store; that was all over the nation.
That was everywhere.
Places like Arizona, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, I feel like there was a time period where like pre-orders were getting canceled left and right. Like it was just weird because that happened to me with like an Eddie Guerrero figure. I remember I had it
I
on
remember
pre-order and it got canceled, and thank God Nate got some, or else I would have never got it. And
Yeah.
then Nate hooked me up, and I was upset because I literally trusted and had faith in this pre-order, and they had already took my money, and then they're like, "Here's your refund," and I was like, "Dude,
This
now
Oh
I
yeah.
gotta go hunting for it."
what's the freaking point?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Unless I cancel. If I go in my account and I hit cancel, then don't ask me, do I still want the item? Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I understand, when the stock doesn't come in. Like that does happen. Like you get shorted on your figures. And so you have to cancel, but there should be a time period. Like you're gonna
Mhm.
know how many you're gonna get in. So like say there was 1,000 outbacks. That's how many we're gonna get in the US, 1,000 outbacks. And they're given throughout all the pre-orders, half are pre-orders, half are store, whatever. Then you already know that's going to be sold. And so if you start going to say 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, you're over your limit already.
Right.
That at that point there's no reason to even do that. You just say nope, we're sold out. Like, and even Target used to do that. They say, oh, we're sold out. Hey, you can't buy it. Come back during like when it first comes out, and then we'll see if we have extra stock. That's what
Yeah.
should have happened.
Big life.
What up, Art G?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that like everything. I feel like everything with toy hunting and trying to pre-order, it's always a hassle because, well, especially in my area, because you never know like how it's gonna work out. I feel like pre-orders work out a lot more now, but before they didn't, and now toy hunting, it's kind of like you literally have to invest. It's like you're an FBI agent, dude. You're just like,
Mhm.
all right, this target says it has three. It might not have any, and you're calling and walking there,
Yeah,
whatever.
this is confirming what Mikey's saying. Do y'all follow what's his name over there in Arizona? AZ.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
AZ Toy Hunter Guild or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been following for a long time. Anyways, but
yeah,
that did like he done that boy done took it now he done took it to the next level. But also he's also been a store manager. You know what I'm saying? So this brother
Yeah.
yeah,
a little bit different than like us. Like I'm a plumber, pastor. Like I gotta go make way and make time to do all that. This brother's up in there, man. He got barcodes, stock, freaking brick seats.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild.
I don't have the time for that anymore. I don't
Yeah,
have
just
the
yeah.
ability
No.
to just like wake up and go on a toy hunt for like 6 hours and like just go to every store hoping that you find what you're looking for.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have the time. Yeah.
I had this one dude. He was in California too. This blew my mind, dude. This dude was trying to play some next level 4D chess on me. This one,
Yeah.
matter of fact, that carbonized Mandalorian Target exclusive one, the one you were talking about earlier. Buddy goes,
Yeah, yeah,
man, can you pick up that carbonized Target exclusive Mandalorian? I said, bro, I ain't even been in Target like today. And he goes, nah, man, they got 6 of them. I'm like, wait a minute, where you live? He's like, oh, Cali. I'm like, bro, I'm in Georgia. He's like, yeah, I know, but your store says you got. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. This ninja right here is
that's
up
extra.
inventory in my Target in Georgia. I'm like, bro, like that's just
That's
That's
creepy
extra,
shit.
dude. I don't even know how because I think when I'm looking up stores in my area, I don't know how you get past like your 20-mile radius. Because when
I
I'm
don't
looking
know,
at my stores, I can see as far as like where the store down the street from me. I can't even see
dude.
like big distances.
Across the nation. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know,
Well, Art
Um.
brought up a good point a minute ago.
Yeah.
Like
Pull up
going to
that
cat.
comment again, Nate. I
Yeah,
want
because
to. I was trying to read it. Oh yeah, it says
it
hunting Mikey's area was a huge letdown for me after seeing California gets the first for years. I saw nothing. That's
yep,
exactly what it's like living in California, dude.
it
You
is.
see all kinds of people posting. You see it on Toy Shiz, the Arizona Toy Guild, and then you see it on who else posts? I think like Rectangular or somebody will share
Yeah,
some people's posts. And
right.
I remember the specifically it wasn't the carbonized Mando, but it was a Mandalorian with the little Grogu
yep. The
deluxe
first one.
pack.
God,
And I
Yep.
wanted that so bad. And I saw somebody find it in Santa Fe Springs, which is not far from me. And I got in my car. I drove all the way to Target. And when I got there, all 5 people had 5 of the figures. And I was like, I'm done. And then one guy goes, "Oh, on my app right here, it shows that there's some down the road in Norwalk." And I was like, "All right, I'm gassing it." And then I went over there, nothing. I was like, "You know what? Why did I even waste my time?" I went straight home and I pre-ordered it on Target and I got it like 2 weeks later.
There you go.
And ever since then, I was just like, dude, never again am I gonna go toy hunting on purpose. Like if I'm ever at a Target conveniently. Speaking of the Vipers, Nate, I remember I think I went to Target with my wife at like 6 or 7 o'clock. She wanted to go for something, and we walk into a Target and I find the whole case of 4. I think it was like 4 or 6 or something. And it came with like a roadblock or something like that, or one other figure. And I was like, I just walked in here for no reason and found a case of what everybody's looking for, and I got all of them. And it was, I mean, that's how it works out here. Like either you get lucky or you just try and waste your money in gas.
Well, it's kind of a hard part too, because like, for example, like we're all hunters, but we all live in different areas, so we're always trying to help each other out and get the figures. But then it's like, okay, if I take everything here, nobody locally can get it either. So now you got people pissed off at you locally. It's a no-win solution as a toy collector.
Yeah.
That's why I started a couple years ago. I just didn't give a flip. I'd go to CMB store of Canada. I don't give a flip. I'm going to get it 3 months early. Y'all don't like it? Oh, well, it's on my shelf. Outback been sitting there 3 months. But now I paid more money for it. But, hey, you got to pay to play sometimes.
Yeah.
I think
hunt it, though. So
I think out where you live, dude, there's stores that we don't even have out here that we could just go to. I think, like, you have Ollie's. Is that am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so Ollie's, I've seen people finding stuff at Ollie's, and dude, I'm like looking up one, I think like 3-4 hours away. I'm just like, man.
And man, when they hit that gold, and it's pretty often, it ain't every week now, but buddy, when them trucks come in,
see that's a spot that's a luxury we don't have out here.
You just can't, like, I don't care who you are or what you do for a living, bro. You just can't buy it all. Like, it's just tractor trailers full at Ollie's.
That's cool, man.
Crazy stuff. I'm like,
see, I want to go out there just for that, because those are stuff we don't have.
If you ever got out here, Dirt Cheap and Ollie's, that's the two, man.
Not our Dirt Cheap here. Our Dirt Cheap here is crap.
Dang,
that's crazy.
There's another. Oh, Bargain Hunt. Do y'all have
Bargain Hunt? Yep.
I don't have that out here. Not that I'm aware of.
Now they're a little. Ollie's actually gets cases from like actual sealed cases. A Bargain Hunt and Dirt Cheap, they get it from stuff that Target didn't sell or couldn't sell or didn't know they had or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's
so they get it like whatever Target clearances out.
Yeah.
They get it.
So it's like your guys is like Ross or TJ Maxx and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And where I'm at, I got all of those. I've got TJ Maxx, Ross, Burlington,
and that extra stuff. That's cool.
And Ollie's and Dirt. Now I went to our Dirt Cheap, and it was totally. I could have scraped about 8 pounds of dirt off of the one of the sides.
So it's really Dirt Cheap, huh?
It really is. I was like, I'm not going back to this one again. I'm not going to get sick from this one. But some of them are good.
Nate, like that real, I can't remember. It's like a city or whatever it was. That crap. It was at Ollie's.
Shipticon.
Shipticon
was at Ollie's.
Them milkers had freaking hundreds of them for like $39.99.
Yep.
I'm talking about that big old.
Yeah, the big Titan one.
My good Lord. Yeah, the Titan one.
Yeah, and the bad part is that it's so expensive to ship those. I mean, it's going to cost you more than what you paid for it.
Exactly. So then you get in that weird situation where it's like, all right, that's cool. I found this massive transformer for Nate for, $20. It's going to cost $100 to get it to him. And then you kind of like, yeah.
But you know what? I would have paid it for that price.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it is. You got to look around and see what you got. But like, at least in Cali, though, you've got Frankensons.
That's true.
You have the availability just to walk into a store and buy a Mafex, or buy a Mezco and stuff like that. Whereas a lot of us don't. Now I've got a store locally here that does, like Dallas Vintage Toys does it, because I'm in a bigger city. But like, dude, do you have any place like that where you can just walk in and buy a Mafex or a Mezco,
or even like a Hot Toy?
Now, well, there's some specialty comic shops that, but it ain't no big library. Like if two collectors, like any of us, walked in, only one of y'all leaving with, you know what I mean? It ain't like they of that. So kind of, but not. I mean,
yeah. You get to the same boat too, because that's a PX exclusive usually, or a PX preview.
Because we do have some comic book stores that you could pre-order stuff like Hot Toys or Mescos from. But I mean, like Nate said, we do have like Frankenstein's where you could pre-order Mayfex, SH, a lot of imports.
Bro, like here, I mean, like not from what I see on y'all's videos and pictures.
Yeah.
Heck no, Age of Geeks and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There ain't nothing like that over here.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when
it's crazy.
That's why I recommended Alex and Ageless. You know, after my store fell apart because they're right there in Frankenstein's.
Dude.
You know, and they just opened up a brand new building. You know, for their new store.
Alex, that good, but I bought a dumb amount of money, bro.
Well, I'm curious too, like Nate and Dude, like in your guys' areas, do you guys think that there's like a demographic of, like, let's say Nate, you decided to pick up the store thing again, but you did it in Texas. Do you feel like you'd have a ton of people out there, or do you feel like it's not as oversaturated as out here?
I would be fighting against other businesses here.
Okay.
Because there's so many toy stores here in Dallas, Fort Worth area.
So there is a lot of places out there.
Yeah, I mean we've got Retro Madness, Dallas Vintage Toys, DF Toy Stash, Empire Toys.
Yeah, you know them all already.
Yeah, like we don't even Atlanta, man. Atlanta, the freaking biggest airport in the world.
Yeah.
They don't even, I mean, we don't even have nothing like I'm like 45 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
And right now it ain't no whatever, but you ain't gonna find no toy store like that.
That's crazy.
And we have a lot more vintage stores here than just your normal. Plus, I mean, some of the biggest comic book stores that you're gonna find are in Dallas. You know, like
we have something like, but it's only once a year. Is Toy Atlanta, which you might have seen.
Toy Atlanta.
We go there every year for years.
That's cool.
Comic-Con, and when I said mini, like it's a tiny. I've never been to Comic-Con, so I don't.
Yeah.
But that's the only time where it's like, all right, now that whole weekend, 4-day, whatever.
Yeah.
You pretty much do what y'all do. You know, walking there and there's freaking.
Okay, that's cool.
You know, they'll come and do like an event like that.
Yeah. So you have something to look forward to, like that wise. Yeah.
Yeah, like for here, we have a convention every month here. Like
really?
Literally, we have North Dallas Toy Store, Toy Fair. They do that every month here.
Yeah.
We have, of course, Fan Expo, Fan Festival here, Dallas. And that's the big ones. They're the big ones. And then there's always a comic convention or a toy convention. There's always something going on. Like between Craig, Cincy, me, and a couple other guys. I mean, it's like we can go to a convention every month.
That's cool. We have conventions often, but not every month. I think we have it. There's like certain times of the year where it's kind of like every week within a month.
Now I will say the way it's evolved, because that Toylanta used to be called Joe-Lanta.
Joe-Lanta?
And specifically it was G.I. Joes only. Like,
oh wow.
G.I. Joes only. I'm talking the little ones and the old back in the 60s.
The 12-inch.
We're talking vintage stuff before all of us were born, like way back in the day.
That's crazy.
And it evolved to the point that just shows you the collector community over here.
Yeah.
Now they call it Toylanta. Same people own it or run it, but they opened up the floor to everything,
Yeah, I mean, it brings more traffic, obviously.
Oh, dude. Oh, it blew. That was the best decision they ever did. So.
Yeah, definitely.
When I first started going there about 7 years ago, it was just Joe-Lanta, like I said. And then like the following year, dude, they changed it. And they were like, hey, same location, same people. We're just going to call it Toylanta. And man,
that's cool.
Now it's freaking. They had to move location because it grew so big. So.
Yeah, I went 1 year when I was in Georgia, and that place is massive.
Right.
Like literally, but it's different too though, because it's a convention that you never leave, really. I mean, it's like it's 4 days of toys, panels, and drinking and partying.
Now, on the flip side, it's not like now I'm only going by what I see. I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con, none of that stuff. But it doesn't have like those big names either, though. So
that's what I was gonna say is
now they have some, pretty decent.
Because like at LA Comic Con, we don't have big names really either. Like when I went to LA Comic Con, all we had was like Lids, Hot Topic, and Nonfly.
Okay.
We didn't have like Hasbro and NECA and Mesco. None of those.
And that's what I liked about LA Comic Con was
And
it
we
was
had
an actual comic convention.
Yeah,
Like literally, they
more
had toy that
artwork, comics.
you know, like literally, Greg and I ran around for 3 hours just looking at comic books.
Yeah,
You know, and I'm like, this is what I go to a convention for. Like literally, even at Fan Expo here, I spent all day pretty much in Comic Row in Artist
that's cool.
Alley. You know, I didn't buy one toy at the whole expo.
Right. I mean, sometimes you don't buy nothing.
Well, and like for me, I looked at toys, but it wasn't the priority because like you can pre-order so many toys now.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
true.
to me, I'd rather get artwork or comics or something. Catch up with like artists and writers I haven't talked to in years.
Well, just like with anything, when you get experience with whatever it might be, same thing with action figures or comics. Like if I'm gonna roll up in there in a toy con and I know what things cost, common sense, I'm like, bro, I ain't spending that money.
Yeah. A lot of times when you go to those conventions, you look at some of the stuff that people are selling. You're like, I can get that on Amazon right now for like $20 less.
Oh,
you
damn.
know, on sale. So
and
it is.
Joe don't know that. They get their money.
That's true. There's a lot of people that go without that kind of knowledge. I mean, in reality, there's a lot of collectors nowadays that they get a lot of their knowledge from YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. I remember that's where we would find out who was getting toys. It wasn't like how it is now. There wasn't no Toy Shiz and there wasn't no a bunch of the other like Rectangular or all the other guys that were doing it. It was using that Facebook group as a community to see that people in a whole nother state were getting figures, and that made you go check your other stores, and that's how we were doing it. Yeah.
Well, it's like when we did the syndicate, it was for the same reason. You know, it was like, hey, this is where everything's at. Hey, help somebody out if you can, you know, with it. But over time, it just evolved to the point where like anybody can use a brick seat, anybody can find a thing.
Well, see, those things don't even exist anymore. I don't think.
No,
I don't think I've seen people
pop
use
finders are dead. All that stuff is dead.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Like I said, last time I saw was when that dude looked up in my state. I was like, what the? And that was 4 or 5 years ago. But
that's crazy.
I mean, COVID was the real changer. I mean, it changed. It made things more available, easily accessible, but at the same time, it's like I still like to go toy hunting. You know, I still do it once a week, usually once every other week.
There ain't nothing like the thrill of the hunt now. I mean,
there ain't nothing like finding something. Like when I find something on sale for half off at Ross, I like that one.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I just like trolling everybody. That's just what I'm doing. I just be trolling. Just laughing.
Yeah, we see you on IG, dude.
We
see you.
Where'd you get that? I'm like,
like the what happened with IE the other day that I saw? I was like, ooh, IE's in trouble.
Dude. Oh, I had to bust him up on that one.
Yeah. What did you do this time?
Church, man. Like literally in church. IE Hunter tags me. And it's like, you know IE, boy. That's my guy, man. That's my baby brother, Big Biscuit, man. You know, that's my dude. But anyway, this buddy tags a song, though. It wasn't a post, it was a song. Bro, and I'm in church. I didn't, so I'm like, all right, it's my boy IE Hunter. I'm just gonna share it. Like my phone's on silent, so I don't hear the music. So I share it, Buddy, by the time I get home, it's like 5 hours later, people are hitting me up like in my DM. They're like, Pastor Dan, this song got all this. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? So I start listening to my own story that goes to IE Hunter where he tagged me. This man, I don't know what freaking song it was, but it was like the first. It
was a song by Logic. And it was I think he says, I work hard every month, effing day.
It was uncensored, boy.
Because I was in the chat and somebody goes, "Yo, what did IE? What did you do to Do Dog?" And I was like, "Whoa, what did I do? What did IE do to Do Dog?" So I go and look it up and I go, "Oh, okay, I see what IE did." And then so I voice messaged IE and I was like, "Yo, don't you dare do that again to the Do Dog Pound."
Well, see, look, this is what people
think's gonna happen.
they would, be way better off if others would have done it like me and IE, where we're boys. That's my dude.
Yeah.
Everybody in here, we can clown on each other, we can roast each other. Some people can't do that crap. So he come back on me, I come back on him, called him out, he called me out. Now it's a funny joke.
Yeah.
Did another one that had Daredevil or Deadpool, and it's like, dude, I love you. I mean, but it was hilarious though, and everybody that was watching, they was following along. So that's the key about keeping things in context though.
Yeah, 100%.
Mad at IE Hunter, bro. Like, I ain't mad. How you gonna get mad at IE Hunter? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, yeah.
But that's what it was about. I was just like, bro, like, doggone. I'm like, dang, it was just funny to me. And it wasn't that big a deal. Y'all know how it is, man. Folks, they take something that ain't even nothing. It's like, dude, ain't nobody mad.
Nah, nobody cares. Everybody just has fun.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when you're in that kind of spotlight, like on YouTube, and I feel like a lot of people have to understand when you're deciding to do the YouTube and deciding to really put yourself out there, like on the gram or whatever it is, there is gonna be people who take things out of context or take things and run with them that you say or that you do, and they're gonna make it seem like either negative or they're gonna make it seem like you're kind of being reckless or whatever. And a lot of people get surprised when, because you have to have thick skin when you're doing this. A lot of people have to understand that when you're doing this, you're now in view of thousands of people who are watching you, and so you have to have thick skin. You have to be able to say and say like, that's not gonna bother me. I know what I really did, really said.
Yeah.
And so
my generation. I know I'm a little older than you, anyways, but me and Nate's more similar age. But dude, I know this gonna sound funny, but if you didn't roast somebody, you didn't love them. Like, the way if I'm roasting you, or if I'm coming at you, bro, that's because you my guy. Like, I will fight for you.
Yeah.
You my boy, like, straight up. And I know that may sound, this generation may be like, well, this almost sounds like it's in reverse. No. If I'm clowning you, that means you my dude. Like,
I mean, it's how boys do things,
Yeah.
Well, you're my boy, man. You're my boy, Blue.
That's all that was about. It was like, bro, I had to bust him up. Daddy Dog had to step in like, son.
Anyway. Well, it's like Art's talking about this, is that, he's trying to help somebody else out, and then of course somebody doesn't believe it's actually him. It's like people are taking those things out of it's like, okay, he's helping somebody out, and then he's getting dogged for doing it. I'm like,
says,
really?
You know how many people hit me up to find that Cobra, or what is it, a G.I. Joe figure?
The Python.
Oh, Python Patrol. Oh, I did see those. I've seen those. Yeah. You know what? It's crazy to me, like, because I remember how crazy the Joes were. Like, they were so hard to find. But now I walk into Target, and I'll see them pretty frequently, a lot more than I see Marvel Legends sometimes. But the Joes are still crazy.
It's still dead here. Like, Joes, we don't find a lot of. Like, it's a lot of leftovers and that damn movie wave. Like, I've still not
that
seen...
movie wave does not leave the stores. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's like somebody melt them things or something. Good Lord.
It's like
today.
Them in Lando.
I'm like, who?
It's like the G.I. Joe team was like, yo, this movie is gonna hit.
Oh, man.
Everyone's gonna want these figures. And it was such a bad movie that everybody was like, get those away from me, dude. I don't want them.
It tells you how bad it was. When that wave came out, I had everybody cancel the pre-orders. We're liquidating. I had to liquidate real fast.
That's crazy.
The only one
man.
That even looked decent, understand? I said decent, was Snake Eyes. That was it. Yeah. I mean, he looked, at least.
Well, I used some of those figures as kit batches. Like, I used the Snake Eyes like unmasked head sculpt, and I used it as like a regular G.I. Joe. Just to have like, I was trying to army build like random like G.I. Joe figures.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong.
So I took advantage of those opportunities.
Well, I'm gonna have to run, but look, if I I love you, buddy. You my guy.
So. Much love, dude.
Anyway, hey, I'll holler at you, buddy. Appreciate y'all.
All right, dude, dog. See you later, man.
All right, brother. So yeah, it's a kind of funny. Like, here we can find legends and everything else, but G.I. Joes are still the same way as it was in Cali. I
Yeah.
think it's because it's such a big town. I mean, dude's lucky where he's at. He doesn't have as many people as we do.
Yeah. I completely forgot how kind of big Texas was too. You know, because you got Dallas, you got where else do you have out there? Arlington,
Arlington, that's where I
is
live. So,
popular, and then um there's another place in Texas that I've heard a lot of craziness goes on.
well,
I just
down
can't
in
remember.
Houston and San
There you go,
Antonio,
Houston.
yeah,
Oh, and San Antonio. I don't know why I was forgetting Houston. Houston, Texas. That's I heard it's pretty wild over there. So you got a lot of big areas, a lot of coverage over there
yeah,
for
and
stuff.
Houston's like 4 hours from me, and
That's
then San
crazy.
Antonio's another seven. So I'm like, but with everything here, like here's Arlington, here's
Yeah.
Dallas, and then around Dallas is all these little bitty towns, sort of like how LA is.
Yeah,
Everything's
that's what
in
I
the
was gonna
same.
say. It reminds me of California, like how some places are like certain distances, and then you have like NorCal, which is like 4 hour distance, and so it gets kind of like that.
But the funny part is I can go from my house to the opposite end of Dallas on the East Coast, East Side, in 45 minutes to an hour. I
Damn.
can't even do that in downtown LA.
Nah, yeah, not that easy. Out here it's like you want to go from where I'm at to like Universal Studios. It's like a hour and a half drive
Oh yeah,
on a good day.
and
Talking
that's what
about
the 101's not backed up, and the 60's not
yeah,
backed up.
or the 5 or the 110 or any of those, the 2, I don't know, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. It's
Actually,
wild.
it's like when we go to John's house from yours. It's like it's always the pain going on the two all the way back
Uh-huh.
over.
That's what I was just about to say. I had it in my head. I was thinking like whenever I go to John's house to do like the kaboom streams, it'll take me like an hour and something to get there on like a Friday afternoon or even a Saturday because so much traffic. It's
I tell you,
crazy.
man, when COVID was in, it was so easy to drive in LA.
Yeah. Oh, it was. There were some moments where I didn't even realize where I was. I was like, am I really in LA right now driving?
Hmm.
Because this doesn't feel like it at all. Feels like I'm driving somewhere else.
Yeah, like I used to come to the VA down there, like literally, I hit to the edge at the 101. It's coming in all the way down to Long Beach. I'm like, dude, that's like 30 minutes. It didn't take no time at all to get here. I'm like, now, dear Lord, that's another hour and a half.
It's crazy out here, but I mean, it's cool because there's a lot out here to do. Or like I think I like being out here because you got like Universal Studios, Disneyland, Six Flags, Knott's, Raging Waters. There's a lot to kind of explore. I feel like this is like a travel area for a lot of people.
I mean, and that's a nice thing where you live at, but where I lived at in Santa Maria, ain't nothing
Oh
there.
yeah, out where you are, where you were, it was bad because your drive, no matter where you were going, was some kind of like 4 hours or
Yeah,
didn't
it's
matter where.
4 hours to LA, 4 hours to 4.5 to San Francisco,
There
and
you
then
go.
literally you have to go 35 minutes to get to the closest Barnes and Noble.
I remember when I would try to drive out to Fresno or I was driving to San Francisco, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm probably passing by Nate, so I might pull up. And then I realized like I'm nowhere near you. Like I think one time I was thinking about it and I mapped it like from in the middle of somewhere, and I was
Hmm.
like, dang, it says he's still 4 hours from like, because I was 2 hours away from Fresno, and I was like, how is he still 4 hours from here? And then I
Yeah,
guess because it's the way you travel
yeah,
that
literally
made it
the
crazy.
the only way really to do it right is if you got off in Bakersfield
Yeah.
and then took the road all the way to the east or to the west of the 101 and came back down. That'd be the only way. But even then, that's still a good hour
Yeah,
from
it is.
Bakersfield just to there.
It's a lot. It's a lot going over there in that area. But I'm sure you like Texas a little bit more. It's
Oh,
probably
I
like
love Texas, man.
a lot
Oh, and
easier to navigate.
it's a lot easier to navigate because they actually have a road system that works. And the best part, I'm not paying, most of my check to the taxes for county.
Yeah. Oh, that's true too, man. The taxes, dude. Everything, man. I think it's cheaper out there, no, too.
Oh, it's way dirt cheaper out here, man. I
Yeah.
love it. We love it, and there's a lot of stuff for kids to do too. So like,
Yeah. I feel like that's the thing too. Is a lot of times you really have to decide like what's better financially, because there's a lot of people who stay out in this area who are like I have a cousin that just moved to from where I'm at to I think Hesperia or like what is it, Barstow area.
okay,
out in there, and they were like, "We're moving out there because it's just too expensive out here."
I
You
mean,
know,
Barstow is cheaper. I mean, literally.
it's crazy how you could go like an hour and a half, and it's just cheaper than where I'm at. It's crazy.
Well, well, it's like if you go to Temecula, for example, you end up,
Temecula
you go
or
down to
like
those.
Nevada,
Yeah,
cheaper, 4 hours
it,
away.
like I got friends that live in Henderson, right outside
Hmm.
of Vegas, and they love it. And they're like,
Or like
and it's
Laughlin. I heard it's cheap out in Laughlin too. So a lot of places cheaper than where I'm at.
time for you to move to Dallas. You and Darren, and your mom would kill me.
My mom would kill me too for even thinking about it. She'd be like, "How dare you?" You
How
know?
dare you leave home?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough trying to figure out. Once you're getting through those stages, like, where am I gonna buy a house? Am I gonna, how am I gonna pay for this? What am I gonna do? Bills, bills, bills. Responsibility is hard.
Yeah, yeah,
So
especially here in about a month or two.
yeah, it's crazy, man. I've been like looking into a lot of houses and stuff just to see like what the cost is, and you kind of don't realize like it's like the down payment and then closing costs, and then there's all kinds of other little things that you have to do to even make that happen or possible. So, and then you have to have a certain amount of income, and you have to have no debt and all kinds of stuff. So, good credit. So, there's a lot of things that you have to really like learn and prepare for to even be able to think about going to that point.
Yeah, and it's hard because like literally, I mean, you're at the stage that I was at almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Where I first started out, and you're trying to build up everything to get to that point to buy a house, trying to do that, and it's easily done when you have more money down, of course,
Yeah.
you know. But that's why I always tell people to recommend to rent your
Hmm.
first house to see
Yeah.
how you like it, because then you're not 100% responsible for the house if something
Yeah.
happens. Um, but then two, you get a feel of managing that house on your own.
True. Yeah, that's very true.
You manage all the utilities, you manage everything.
And you
Um,
also have to think about the maintenance of the house too. Like you buy a
right.
house and there's buying a new water heater if that messes up, or
Furnace
fixing
dies.
all kinds of things that you don't really think about when you're doing it, and then you realize, oh, I have to now resolve this issue. And I mean, who knows what kind of issues you have after you buy that house? So some people are fortunate, some people aren't.
Yeah, just wait till the day where somebody puts something down the toilet they're not supposed to. It stops up
That's
the septic system. So
then you
guess
gotta
what?
call due dog.
You got to call the plumber. Well, the plumber's going to cost you $2,000 to fix
Yeah,
everything.
it's just a lot of this stuff can be expensive, man. It's like it's like having a car. Sometimes your spark plugs go out, or you get a flat tire. You gotta fork up the money to keep moving and be able to keep it pushing.
It just takes time. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the main thing. You'll get there. I mean, we all did. I mean, it's even like when we moved here. Like we moved here, we didn't have a house.
yeah, it's
We just
true.
we found a house here because sometimes it's easier just to find it when you're there in the
Yeah,
area. Buying is easier because if you're buying the house, you've already paid for it. It's yours.
mm,
You're done with it. Renting, not so much. But
yeah,
the nice thing about LA is the availability of rentals, but they get snatched up fast
that's true.
because they're just they especially in these new complexes and whatnot. But to tell you the truth, man, I mean, just the cost of a rental there sometimes doesn't feel worth it. I mean, because like you're spending so much money on the rental versus buying the house.
Yeah,
So it's a give take about equity versus responsibility. Because you just don't know how it's going to turn out. I mean, you might think the house is perfect, you get the inspection done, then 2 months later, oh crap, you got to pay for everything to fix it.
yeah, it's
So,
true.
it it's a gamble either way. Hey, I mean, even Abel's, he just says, he's got a 2008 Volkswagen. Hey, I was the same way, dude. I had a 1999 Toyota Corolla. I rolled that thing to 300,000 miles. And the only thing I had to do was an oil change, and that thing was great. But then, it just got to the point.
Toyotas, Toyotas last, man.
I
I can tell
do.
you from experience.
I love them. They good cars. You
Did
know,
you did you hear, Nate, that they're scrapping like the whole DCU stuff?
I did the whole movie, everything. James
Yeah, I
Gunn
mean,
canceled it all.
they confirmed for sure they're not doing a Wonder Woman, and I think they said that they're they're not gonna have Henry Cavill come back for another Superman movie. So I wonder what they're doing with that. I mean, I think it's a good thing. I've been thinking they should scrap it for a long time. I felt like they lost a lot of faith in people to want to go see the movie when it comes out. I think that's why Black Adam's doing so bad.
Hmm.
Because I like me personally, I'm like I'm gonna just wait for it to hit HBO Max, and they
Yeah,
announced that it's coming out December 16th on HBO. The Shazam, was it Shazam movie, or was it
Black Adam.
Black Adam? Why do I want to call it Shazam? But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
Black
connected.
Adam, yeah, it's coming December 16th. So I wonder what they're gonna do, but I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, well, they lost. I mean, when they first had, the Man of Steel come out, like that was a good movie, except for two parts, and it was the last two parts where they made General God or Zod is part
Mm,
with Doomsday. Like, come on,
yeah,
really? That was way too much. The whole story up to that point was good,
yeah,
um, but then he did the whole the Wade and Justice League and all like they just try to mix too much too fast. They didn't really develop the storylines. Like Aquaman was good and Wonder Woman were good because they were individual stories. It had nothing to do with the Justice League, you know.
yeah,
Um, but it's one of those catch 22s. They are so far into it. I mean, you just got to start over if
yeah,
you want to do it, do it right. I mean, but what they could do to salvage part of it is like say, hey, the Wonder Woman and the Aquaman movies, they're still canon because they were good. Man of Steel,
yeah.
not so much. Batman, I'm sorry, Ben Affleck is not Batman. I mean, I'm a Bale guy or a Keaton guy.
Yeah, I get you. I also think like especially with everything going on with that Flash situation, the Flash movie's gonna come out, but Ezra Miller's going crazy and they're gonna like I remember them saying that they were gonna use that Flash movie as a way to kind of reset everything with the DCU, and it doesn't seem like they could even keep Ezra Miller there. Like I think they fired him already. So imagine like them trying to work off of that movie, it's kind of impossible. So I think they were just like, yo, there's really nothing we can do. I think we're just gonna scrap what we have here and then start fresh, which I think it's a good idea, but we'll have to see what they because I think James Gunn made a tweet where he was saying uh, a lot of it, some of it's true, some of it's not true, and there's things that we're planning as far as like doing a full on reboot. So I am curious on what they're gonna keep, especially since James Gunn is doing like Peacemaker. I'm sure
Hmm.
Peacemaker would probably stick around, but I don't think like the entire like Justice League characters, like all
No,
the actors, like Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and Ezra Miller. I don't think any of like Jason Momoa. I don't think any of them are coming back
I
to reprise those roles.
I bet you if they bring Jason Momoa back, he comes back as Lobo, like they've been hitting
I think
on.
I've heard somebody say that, so
It's
I
like
think it would be cool if they did that.
and that's the thing is like if for example, for truth that the other DCUC is dead and
Yeah,
he's coming back as Lobo, you can believe it that he's actually Lobo.
yeah, it's true.
But if it's still open where DCUC is still around,
Hmm.
then it wouldn't make no sense.
Yeah,
But I mean, they could use Ezra's movie to do that. I mean, they just make it Flashpoint.
yeah.
That's all you do is just reset it, start over, and now you have rebirth, just like we did in the comics.
That's true. They could do that too. They could just call it a rebirth.
Um, but then you really start all over though. It's like, all right, who's going to be your Superman? Who's going to be your Batman? Who's going to be your Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
All of them.
Uh,
Like where the
See,
hell's my Green Lantern at?
I know they haven't even gotten that far. I think like we got some cool characters and actors playing some of these stuff, but I feel like they need to really like look at um the actors in the movies that they're gonna do. Because I wouldn't mind. Because a lot of people are like they should start fresh and do it like how they did in Marvel, where Captain America has his own movie and this has like Thor has his own movie. And I was like, they could just start it with the Justice League movie. They don't have to start doing individual movies. So it's possible for them to do a Justice League movie and then branch out from there. But I wonder how they're gonna do it, man. Because I like I said before, I don't have faith and the DC stuff. So if they go a new Justice League movie's coming in 2025, I'm not gonna get too hyped for it because I already know,
No,
what we're getting at DC. So
which is sad because like if you look at the actual TV shows, how well they did. Like I
yeah.
loved watching, the League, and I loved watching Flash, and I loved watching Arrow.
Oh yeah, those CW ones. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
they lost their stride. I feel like I liked watching the Flash and the Arrow shows, and then I think when they got to like Legends, is it Legends of Tomorrow?
Legend Tomorrow.
And then they got into the Batgirl and the Supergirl. They
Yeah,
kind of lost me at those shows. And then Black Lightning I thought was really bad, and they kind of lost me there. And I was just like, I'm not watching it anymore. Then the Flash had like 9 seasons of him getting his ass kicked,
yeah.
and it kind of got over like annoying because you're like, the Flash is better than this dude. Why are you just having him get his ass whipped by people every episode, man? Can he at least get one win? You
Well,
know,
like he'd
so
lose his powers this episode, get it back the next one, then
he would lose his.
Reverse
I think
Flash
he
would come
lost his
back.
powers like 20 times, man. And then Reverse Flash was a different guy, and what was it? Frost was a different
Oh yeah,
person, separate entity or something. Killer Frost, I think that was, and then
yeah.
Cisco had this weird power and love
Reverb,
interest and
yeah,
all this. It was just complicated. It got too complicated, man. Iris West became a Flash, and the twins came,
yeah. And then their daughter came from the future. And, they didn't know who she was. I'm like,
and then all of a
okay,
sudden they reveal it's his daughter, and then you're just like, we knew the whole time. How are you gonna reveal it to us like it was a surprise? It just got overwhelming. The Arrow show was pretty decent throughout. It had its moments where it was kind of like, come on. And then I kind of got upset a lot of times where they were stealing a lot of the Batman
hmm,
storylines, like the Ra's al Ghul stuff and the Talia al Ghul stuff. I was like, that's Batman
yeah.
at its finest right there, and you're just wasting Batman's story on Arrow when he has his own good stories. So
Well, it's because they don't have a Batman story.
which was
Like
weird too, because I remember them saying that they weren't ever gonna do Batman, and then they ended up doing it. Like Batman was off limits, and then they started doing Batman stuff.
well, it's like Gotham evolved into Batman, and it's like
Yeah,
okay, it's like I like the actual just Gotham story. Like you see
I
him,
liked Gotham too. I thought Gotham was pretty cool. I mean, obviously it wasn't comic accurate, and it had some pretty good actors. Like I feel like the kid who played the Joker was really good.
oh yeah,
I know he's in the Jedi Fallen Order game, but I liked him a lot, and I liked the actor who played the Penguin,
yep.
and I liked the actor who played the Riddler. I thought he was really good.
The Riddler was the most believable out of all of them. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's like he's just a normal guy that just went crazy because he was
exactly.
obsessed, and then he just starts going back and forth. Like the Penguin, I mean, he was believable, but it wasn't until like the last season, like he finally got his
Yeah,
stride, like after he supposedly died.
yeah,
And then the Joker, that's not the Joker, who is the
yeah,
Joker.
yeah.
It's like okay,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was it was it was cool, but it was confusing. Like there was a lot of parts where I was like, all right, this is definitely not accurate to anything, but I do like the way that the actors were portraying the roles. So I was like, all right, I like this part. I like this part. So there was some stuff that I was like, dude, if they took this actor and put him in this movie, like I always kind of put things from the perspective of like, could you imagine if you took all of these different characters and actors who played them and put them in one movie? Like let's say we got Heath Ledger's Joker with Ben Affleck's Batman, and then we
Mm,
added like let's say the Riddler from the Gotham show, and
mm.
gave him to the Batman, to Christian Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like I always try to look at that and I'm like, dude, what a better fit for the role would have been,
Well, if
or
you think about
something.
like if they did the three Jokers story, if they did
That would
it
be
with
cool too.
like with Nicholson's Joker, Ledger's Joker, and then Joaquin Phoenix's, like
Joaquin Phoenix's would be cool in that movie.
because you can see each of them, they play their own role, just like in the comic storyline.
Yeah.
And then that's what was kind of funny is in the comics they were like, there is no one person that's Joker. You know, there's
Yeah.
multiple people who play the role.
Yeah, it's like that thing where the Joker has no backstory. He's just who nobody knows where the hell he came from. So I think that's what makes the character so cool. And I feel like a lot of times with the shows and the movies is they're always trying to like give him some kind of background and try to make you feel like, oh, this is where he comes from. This is where, and I mean personally, I don't care for that. I just want to see the Joker in action.
Hmm.
The Joker's at his best when he's not like when we're not trying to relate to him. I want to see Joker and be like, yo, I want to stay away from that guy.
Yeah.
That I feel like they do that, and it kind of is like, we don't really need that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and I like the movie a lot, but there's just a lot of moments that I'm like, I don't really need that kind of backstory. I would prefer it if you just kind of had him just being. That's why I'm excited for the second movie because I'm hoping the second movie it's a little bit more reckless and a little bit more wild
Yeah.
instead of like them trying to explain what he comes from. I just want to see him just lose his mind, and do his thing.
Well, they did at the end of the first one, so you know
That's why. That's when I got
it's
excited. And
fun.
I'm like, the best part's already
Yeah.
over.
You know, he's like he lost his shit. He was just maniacal at the end. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
yeah. But see, what I like is that it has nothing to do with Batman with that movie. It's all about the Joker. You know.
yeah, and it's cool. It's cool to. I feel like that's something that they're probably gonna keep doing in the DC movies. Is those separate like the Batman or the Joker and stuff like that. I like when they do that. Like I get like Marvel, they want to make money and they want to have this like giant universe that kind of collides with each other. But I kind of like when they have these separate kind of movies. I think like I wish Marvel would kind of do that where Marvel's like, hey, we do have our MCU, but we're also gonna stray off and make like solo movies that don't exist in the MCU because I feel like
Mm.
we'd get some cool movies out of that, and I feel like that's something that DC has that Marvel doesn't that we kind of appreciate. But I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I like James Gunn though. I'm excited for what he's gonna do because I think the Peacemaker was good and the Suicide Squad was a pretty good movie. It wasn't like the
Mhm.
greatest movie ever, but I feel like it was better than the first Suicide Squad.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'd
I
give
mean,
him a lot of credit for that.
well, and that's what like even like I like Birds of Prey. I like that movie over the Suicide Squad with Margot Robbie any day.
Yeah,
But the new Suicide Squad would actually had Amanda Waller in it. You know, it
yeah,
actually made sense. Like they're actually what they're supposed to be.
exactly.
Uh, you know, with and it's John Cena, so it's always hard for me because it's like all right, can't see me. You know, I keep waiting for him to do it as
Yeah, I'll be
Peacemaker.
honest. When they said that John Cena was gonna be, I mean, I kind of put my thoughts from when he was in the Fast and the Furious 9
Hmm.
because that movie sucked and John Cena was horrible in that movie. And so when they were like John Cena is gonna play a character in the DC movies, I was like, come on, John Cena again with this horrible acting. But I actually like John Cena as Peacemaker, and that's why when they did the show, the Peacemaker show, I was like, damn, John Cena, you actually found something that you're doing good at. And so it kind of like made me okay with seeing John Cena in something else. But like it's true. Some movies like that puts bad taste in your mouth, so you just don't want to see it. Like when I saw him in Fast 9, I was like, I don't want to see John Cena no more, dude.
Like when I watched him in Marine, I was like, oh come on, dude, really? I mean,
Yeah,
it wasn't believable. Yeah, for me.
yeah. That's the one where that WWE made, right? I think it's
Yeah,
yeah.
you can tell it was made by the WWF at that
Yeah, you
point.
can tell when WWE makes anything. I remember when John Cena was in this like wrestling movie, that WWE made where he's like an actual like wrestler. I think his brother or something was a wrestler too or something. So it was a weird movie. Yeah.
And Abel's like, Bale is my least favorite Batman. I don't see what everybody sees. I like Bale as Batman. I don't like him as Bruce Wayne. He's not a good Bruce Wayne in the movie.
I feel like it's just the trilogy. I think for its time, it was really good. But I'll be honest, I don't care for Christian Bale as Batman. I didn't care for him as Batman or Bruce Wayne. I just didn't like the look of the like his whole Batman suit, and I didn't like the way his face kind of fit the mask. It looked weird, and his Batman voice was probably one of the worst ones I've ever heard. You know, like
Oh yeah, that voice is bad. I'll say it.
you know.
Yeah, yeah,
It was pretty bad. And so, but I feel like a lot of people just love the trilogy so much. Like I get in so many battles about Batman. Like I think that The Dark Knight is one of the best comic book movies to date,
ever.
next to a few. But I also, like, I personally don't care for The Dark Knight Rises, and I don't really care for Batman Begins as much as other people. But a lot of people love those movies, and I think because those movies as a whole, like as a whole trilogy, I think that's why people kind of point out Christian Bale's Batman.
Well, it's like Dark Knight Rises failed for two reasons because you blew up the whole Bane piece where you
Yeah,
could have made it such a bigger part. And then they did the whole No Man's Land at the same time. They blew out.
exactly.
It's like just do one. Like I mean, that's why these stories in comics work a lot better than movies because you can go
Yeah,
on and on with the story and let it grow.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, Ben Affleck does a good Batman, but he's believable as both. I think that's the
I
difference.
agree. Yeah,
He's believable as Bruce Wayne. He's believable as that. It's just I think the way they have him acting is why I don't like him as much in the movie
yeah,
because like during the Batman versus Superman movie, it's like Batman doesn't give a crap about
yeah.
that.
Mm-mm.
He would be like, no, I'm just gonna hit you with the kryptonite rod. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, see, I agree with you on that one because I love the look like that. I think that the look, the voice, the movement that he had as Batman, I think that's why I like him so much. But I agree that a lot of the writing and a lot of the like especially when you have Bruce Wayne, which I feel like Bruce Wayne would have never went to every
No,
Justice League character and said, "Hey, I'm creating a team. I want you to come with me." I feel like Batman is the type of person who's like, I don't give a shit. I don't need a team. Like, if you guys want to
no,
follow me, you can follow me, and if not, then I'm gonna, do this shit on my own. And so that was one of the things that I was kind of like, this is out of character. Like, I feel like when you see Batman talking to some of them, even like especially that scene where he goes to talk to Jason Momoa's character, Aquaman. I don't know why said Jason Momoa, but when he's talking to Aquaman is like kind of being like a little bit scary and like a little bit like aggressive. I feel like Batman would have been like dude, I could like destroy your shit in like 2 seconds because I know your weakness or whatever it is. And I feel like Batman wouldn't have been like intimidated. I feel like in that scene he's a little intimidated. Like, I don't want to get into drama right now. I'd rather just kind of, go just have you help me out. And I feel like some of those parts I was like a little like, damn, come on, man. Like, he's
throw
better
some.
than this. Yeah. So
Because I mean, one thing, Batman would have never made the Justice League. That would have been a
no,
Superman thing.
never.
Superman been like, "Hey, I need help. We're gonna
Yeah.
stop all this." So he would have, yeah,
It's like making Green Arrow like, hey, can I be a part of the Justice League? And the comics and everything Green Arrow has ever done, he has never ever wanted to be a part of the Justice League. Even when he
no,
was a part of the Justice League, he didn't want to be there, you know?
no, he,
So those it's those little moments that you're kind of like, this is out of character, you know? Like even for me, that new Black Panther movie from some of the Namor comic books, I was like, Namor doesn't explain himself to anybody about why he's making decisions.
no,
Namor was a cocky person who was like, I'm a god. You listen to what I say. I'm Namor, you know? And I felt like in the movie I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the movie. I like Namor as a character. I feel like he stole the show, but I also feel like he just wasn't his character, you know? So,
yeah. Well, you think about Namor, he's the first one of the very first mutants.
yeah.
He runs all of the ocean. He can kill anybody he wants under
Yeah.
the ocean, and he can still come on dry land for a period of time.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
but they didn't really go into that in the new
Mm-mm.
movie. It's like, okay, oh, and by the way, he's part of the Illuminati.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why he's a part of the Illuminati. Him and Black Panther is because
Yep,
they're willing to do the bad things for their people. Like, they're like, oh, we have to kill this guy to save the world and our people. Kill him. That's
yep,
what we're here for, and that's why the Illuminati was created so that they could make those decisions. And I think there's even Captain America joins the Illuminati, and Captain America has such like a noble spirit that they're like, all right, Captain America, you got to bounce, bro, because you're too noble for this team, you know?
yeah. and that's why they had Xavier and Mister Fantastic with them because they'll do what they need to do to get
Yeah.
it done. Like I was really surprised, like Xavier was there and he'll do whatever he needs to do, but I'm surprised he didn't have like Wolverine there for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's some stuff that I feel like, even like when you think about the small minor like MCU, when and Multiverse of Madness when they had the Illuminati, I was like, why would Captain Marvel be there? Why would Captain Britain or I don't know if she was Captain America, Captain Britain, or whatever she was. Why would they be there when they kind of don't have like that I'm making these big decisions kind of like outlook. Whereas like Captain Marvel is more like I'm trying to save all of
Universe.
space and the entire universe, and Captain Britain is more like a very grounded character, and I feel like they didn't really fit for me. I feel like they
Mm.
could have added like other characters that are more like I'm willing to kill people for like the better of the world or whatever it is.
Well, it's like the one thing I was hoping they would have did is like in the What If series, they brought Captain Britain back,
Yeah,
but she got thrown into that whatever area of the dimension. Like she could have
yeah,
been the one that's in charge of that dimension and be part of the Illuminati,
that's true.
but they didn't even talk about that at all.
No. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't see I think that's the complicated thing about some of those movies too is you're kind of looking at it like when you watch Multiverse of Madness, there's two characters from What If that I thought were in this movie, which is Captain Britain, the
Yeah,
Captain Carter is Captain Britain, and then the other Doctor Strange that you see at the like that towards the end of the movie. And I was
yeah,
like, all right, those are definitely from What If, but then it doesn't make sense because one, that Doctor Strange is protecting that pocket dimension,
yeah.
and then the other Captain Britain is like a
Stuck.
part of a stuck in it, and so you're kind of just like are they even the What If characters or what's going on here? And then they explain that they're just part of another Earth. And
Yeah.
so they're like, all right, that now it makes it disappointing because all the hype was going to watch these fake cartoon characters come to life in our world, like our universe. So it kind of
Yeah.
took away from that. It is kind of like a little bit misleading for me when
Where
I
the hell's
watched
my
it.
zombies at? That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, that would have been cool too, but they didn't do really any. I feel like, I mean, this is gonna continue to be like the same topic, but I feel like it should have just been the Wanda movie. I don't know. It
Yeah.
should have been like a instead of WandaVision, they could have made put all that into one movie and just called it like Wanda or the Scarlet Witch, or I don't know. They could have gave her a movie with all that story because I feel like it was more her movie than it was Doctor Strange movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, after she learned the dark hold and learned everything, like she was running it. I mean, she in the comics too. Doctor Strange had a girlfriend called Clea, and Clea
Yeah,
was the one that was the
they
new
showed her in the
sorceress.
end credit scene, right? Yeah.
Yeah, as the sorceress supreme.
Yeah,
But at the same time, he was teaching Wanda how to manage everything. So I'm
yeah,
like okay, you're kind of like, why didn't you just put Wanda in a bubble,
yeah,
kind of thing. It's like
yeah,
if she's gonna destroy the multiverse, come on.
yeah. Like they show you that in What If that he can make pocket dimensions. Why couldn't he do the same to her? And then also, like, I'm curious too, because I want to say in the comic books when Wanda like disappears on a hiatus, it's because Doctor Doom has her like captive on an island or something
Yep.
crazy, and then she comes back into the Avengers and whatever she does. But I'm curious if they'll do that with Doctor Doom, especially because we're gonna have him back. But a lot of people were speculating Black Panther was Doctor Doom looking for vibranium, which would have made sense, but I don't know if they're ready for any of that stuff. So
No, and then they've already said
bunch of storylines they could have used.
Krasinski's going to be back for the Fantastic Four. So
Did they? Yeah,
it's going to be one of those things like he didn't do at all, worth of crap in the movie. So
yeah.
it's like, all right,
Well, he just
yeah,
died and talked a little bit. Sounded dumb. So
yeah. It's like I don't want that in a movie. I don't want
yeah,
to just spend 2 hours. That might
yeah.
become a Blu-ray watch.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we could see, but I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes they take too long with this stuff. Like when James Gunn announces movies that are gonna come out in 2026 or 2027, I'm just gonna be like, dude, I could be dead by then, bro. I don't know how life is gonna work for me, and why am I gonna waste my time sitting here waiting and getting excited for movies that I could possibly not even see, man? You know, so I feel like they just take too long
It's like
to
the
make
whole
some of this
Blade
stuff.
movie. Who it's going to be here? It's not going to be here. It's near. It's not here. It's like, dude, I've been waiting for a Blade movie and a freaking Ghost Rider movie forever.
Yeah, because they announced it and then they said that because of I mean I get it though because it might not fit right now, but that's the thing. I feel like if like I said before, if they were doing like standalone movies, it doesn't have to fit in this MCU. But I feel like they're trying so hard to make it like it's like you add the Celestials and you add the Eternals and you're adding like all this multiverse stuff, and then now you're gonna add like random vampires that have been roaming the world and Blade existing and all this other craziness. It's a little tough for them to kind of keep that going. So I get what they're trying to do, but it's like if you guys are gonna do this, you better do it right because we're gonna call you out on your shit like we did with She-Hulk and
Yeah.
like you did with Thor: Love and Thunder. We're gonna let you know that it's bad, and if you keep making bad stuff, we're not gonna come back. Like you're gonna be in a DC predicament where you're having people not show up to these movies or shows because now you're just making bad products.
Well, it's like nobody wanted to see her as Thor.
Nah.
She's not. She's not the Lady Thor. Like in the
Yeah.
comic, she doesn't have the same charisma, the same thing. She's a whiny scientist who got
Yeah,
made into Lady Thor.
exactly. And I feel like even in the comics, like when those comics came out, a lot of comic book readers were like, nobody cares about Jane Thor, man. I think that's why a lot of people call her Jane False Thor. I think I've heard Greg say that before, where
Yeah,
it's like she's not Thor. Like I mean, I would have liked, honestly, I'm not a fan. I can't remember the actress's name, but I'm not a fan of her as an actress. But I would have liked somebody coming in to take the mantle of Thor as a female, like Lady Thor. I feel like they could have done it better, but I mean, I don't get it either because they go and they keep Chris Hemsworth. Obviously, Chris Hemsworth is still there, so obviously we might see him in more movies. But I feel like Chris Hemsworth were like, I don't think I want to come back to this character if it's not going to be good anymore. So
yeah.
they kind of ruined that because Chris Hemsworth is kind of like, I don't know if I want to come back if we're gonna keep making shitty movies.
Well, I mean, you think about it. I mean, after they destroyed Asgard, what's he really got to do? I
I mean,
mean,
yeah, like you're right. They destroyed Asgard. His brother passed away. His Jane's gone, who he was like mourning over the entire like Endgame movie, and then he lost like his dad. He lost his sister because he had to kill her or whatever. But it's kind of like, damn, man, like you're like this character has nothing to live for. Why is he still there? And I think Thor: Love and Thunder was supposed to give him. I mean, the little girl is something to live for, but for me, it's like that's just a random addition. It wasn't really
mhm,
built from like we're talking about like Sam Wilson becoming Captain America was built off of like 10 movies,
yeah.
like a 10 years worth of movies, and this little girl becoming this mantle of Thor was one movie or like 45 minutes of a movie, and we didn't even really learn about the female character until the end of the movie. So it's kind of was a bad idea on their part.
Well, it's like especially when you have Valkyrie right there.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
it's like
Which
you
they
have
built her character over and over again.
it's like
You know,
make her Lady Thor.
Yeah, I would have
If you
appreciated that way more actually.
because Thor's got Stormbreaker. Give the re. Now that was the one thing I didn't like either was the reconstructed hammer of
Yeah, I didn't like that
Mjolnir.
either.
It's like, come on, really? It's destroyed. Let it be.
Yeah,
It's like, and if you're gonna fix it, fix it. you
yeah,
know,
like don't have it all like broken in cracks. Like that's not how it works.
you know. But I mean, after Hela broke it, it's like, come on, it's over.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I see. I feel like it's a lot of stuff that they do. Like I think there's too many people who are making decisions on the movies where they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna break the hammer," and then the hammer's just done for, and they're like, "We're gonna leave it done for a while," and then another director comes in and goes, you know what? I kind of like the hammer better how it was, so I think I'm gonna bring it back and make do with what we have, and now the hammer's back, and so that I feel like some directors contradict the story that a previous director did, and so I feel like a lot of times they either have to try to keep it consistent or just don't do it. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, it's like in the Thor, like Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, Stormbreaker, they're supposed to be indestructible.
Oh yeah, they are.
So how did Hera just break it with her hand?
I don't
She
know.
doesn't have that kind of power.
And
You
if she
know,
did, how did she still lose at the end? That's the thing.
exactly. It's like,
Yeah,
so some things are not believable. There's a little bit of plot holes there, which
exactly.
if they took 5 minutes, they could have fixed it. They'd be like,
That's true.
you know, they could have went back. Oh, during the time because they said, hey, the guy who made Mjolnir built Stormbreaker. He was
Hmm.
that orc looking dude, and it's like
Yeah,
he could have said, oh, by the way, they can be destroyed. But if you have
yeah.
this X, Y, and Z. But what we were told is they weren't.
Yeah, like that's the whole part of Infinity War is that he needs to reforge a weapon that's strong enough to just like kill Thanos, and that weapon is like built strong enough to like go through anything. So it's kind of like like how do you make something that's easily breakable by someone like Hela, but not Thanos?
Yeah.
Because you would
It,
think Thanos with the Infinity Stone just go boom, I broke your hammer in pieces.
exactly.
You know
Yeah, and it's like if he's got the Stormbreaker, that should be 80 times, 100 times stronger than Mjolnir ever was.
exactly.
And so it's like, why even have a broken hammer?
Yeah, and I remember Stormbreaker being Beta Ray Bill's axe, and
Yep.
they just totally were like, Beta Ray Bill, Stormbreaker, who cares for that character? We're gonna just give it to Thor, and use Groot's arm as the way to it's just come on, man, like it's too convenient of situations to just make this Stormbreaker when we could have just got it from Beta Ray Bill during Thor Ragnarok. Like
Well,
that's how he could have got the Stormbreaker.
well, a good example would have been during Loki, the
Mm-hmm.
show,
There you
when they
go.
brought all the versions of Loki out. They could have brought all the versions of Thor out. Be
Yeah.
like, okay, there's Better Ray Bill. Oh, he has Stormbreaker. Oh, can I
Yeah, and
borrow that?
they not to Beta Ray Bill in Thor
Mm-hmm.
Ragnarok when they have that whole like stone
Mm-hmm.
face image of him. And I feel like how are you gonna tease people like that and never kind of do the character?
Because what happens is director to director, they get over it.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's Taika Waititi who kind of put that there or whatever, and then Taika Waititi did the second movie with Gore the God Butcher. But I feel like they just did him like horrible, man. I feel like they should have just CGI'd Gore the God Butcher. I like don't get me wrong. I think Christian Bale is a really good actor, but like it. I feel like their reasoning was Christian Bale's a good actor, man. We're not gonna ruin him with CGI. Well, you didn't say that with Josh Brolin, and Josh Brolin is Thanos, and using Thanos CGI stuff literally made that character who he was. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you're dumbing down a character that doesn't need to be dumbed down. Instead of focusing on his facial acting, focus on his actual character storyline. Like that Gore the God Butcher storyline is such a good storyline, and I feel like it was wasted on like that's a storyline you can't waste with humor,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what they did.
Well, it's like the Dark Elves in the
Yeah,
second with the Dark World movie. It's like the elves are some of the craziest and sadistical people in the whole history of Thor,
yeah,
and they made a laughable thing that, oh, we just killed them all. They're dead.
that's crazy.
All right, brother. It's getting late here, man. It's 10 o'clock already.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock over here. But all right, Nate. Well, thank you for
Thank
having me,
you
bro. I
so.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. You come here anytime. I hear every Friday.
Heck yeah, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys out there in YouTube land. I hope you guys have a good one, and thank you all for
Thank you
spending
guys for
2 hours
watching. I
with
know
us.
we've been on here for a while, so thank you guys. We appreciate you. Until the next one, you guys.
Next one, you guys. All
All
right.
right.